them and stuff.
It's intelligent.
Like Shelob.
Or a child of Shelob.
Yeah.
Of course, Shelob is from Ungoliant. The spider that helped Morgoth kill the trees.
Right, that's... Yeah, and then
flee. Then they fled to Middle Earth, and then she tries to attack Morgoth, right?
I think that was it. Yeah, she was kind of his...
She was hungry.
She was kind of Morgoth's pet.
She was so hungry, she was still like in the trees, and it totally...
Yeah, that was from all that really super cool Silmarillion stuff.
And then, so Morgoth calls his Balrogs, Gothmog, and 3 or 4 others, and they beat her off. They're like, "Get out of here, spider!" Yeah, that's great, man. That Silmarillion stuff's amazing.
Yeah, I tend to read that again every couple of years or so. It's one of my favorites. All right, I think I got everything going here. So let's so we finished the town phase, so we're back in the adventure phase, essentially. Just leaving Griffinholm.
Yes, we are just leaving Griffinholm back to Reverie and into the House of Three Squires to go rescue that poor innkeeper. Hopefully he's alive. Lee wants to do a total takeover of the House of Three Squires now, which...
Yeah.
Alright. And then we have Winterkeep. Then we have Winterkeep, which is of interest to us because Lee has a cousin who has been captured by mermaids.
Yes, there has been apparently somewhat of a mermaid infestation in Winterkeep, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Those pesky mermaids.
Mm-hmm. Then, of course, the new rumors about the evil wizard, or the evil sorcerer that lives in Loman's Folly in the swamp, and apparently he disappeared.
Into his own painting.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. To his favorite painting, the bard told you. But it is sad that he did have does have a wizard's tower somewhere down here, so if he's gone, it might be worth checking out. Maybe there's an abandoned wizard's tower down there, maybe. But the bard did make it pretty clear as well, or the bards, I should say, that it hasn't been confirmed that he's actually disappeared. It may just be a ruse, because he does have many rival sorcerers.
Is that at Bogwatch?
That's in Winterkeep. Oh, no, that's at, I'm sorry, Loman's Folly, this little swamp over here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Which actually isn't that little of a swamp. This is what, this whole area is 20 miles, so that's what, maybe 5 miles? No.
It's not that far.
No, it's probably more, yeah, it is roughly 20 miles, because I did put a scale on the campaign map down here.
Yep.
One hex is 20 miles. So yeah, this would represent roughly 20 miles, I guess.
Maybe it should be more than that, because I mean, 20 miles and for all of this stuff.
Just have to suspend your disbelief, Alex. All right, let's do a start and end of session here. I think I went over everybody's character sheets just briefly. Made some minor adjustments here and there. Found out that Violet has not been carrying her traveling spell book with her. So I put that in. That does take to pack 2.
What did you take out of my pack then? Because I had it full.
No, I think you had one slot open and you had an extra water skin or a wine skin in there. I'm assuming that Pingsley gave to you because I noticed on Pingsley's sheet.
No, I bought that.
Oh, you did?
At the town.
You bought a water skin?
Yeah. Or water full. I had the water skin, I think, or the wine skin already, but the water full.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, but can we give that to somebody then? Because I think we purchased that in the town.
Yes, we should.
Does anybody have an open slot?
I do.
that is the thing about being a spellcaster. You have to carry around that large spell book.
Okay,
And
thanks.
keep in mind that, this stuff in your inventory is not the only stuff that you're carrying. You're also carrying, tools and knickknacks having to do with any skills that you may have, trade skills included. Just kind of, everyday personal items. But this is the stuff that's more bulky and it's the stuff that you take on you with it, to an adventure.
Right.
So that's why it's so limited. Yeah. So, I would imagine, like, I think Breck has some, like, hunting skills and stuff like that. He probably has a skinning knife and stuff like that. So I just wanted to point that out. So, yeah, I think somebody should get that water skin, I guess. I think everybody's inventory is almost full up. Pingsley has an open slot.
I have a open slot, yeah.
An open slot, too, but...
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else I may have done, just to let you guys know. I may have adjusted some skill checks here too. I never take them away. I'll always add them if I think that perhaps you forgot to add them. Oh, one thing that I want you guys to look at under wises on your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So when you use a wise, it's kind of like a skill where you get advancement and progression in these. That should actually be checked, Pingsley. Looking at your sheet right now and you unchecked it. This is what I was just going to explain to you guys. So when you use a wise, you're usually helping someone with the wise, right? Because in most cases you can't help yourself with a wise. So when you help somebody with your wise and they pass the test, you would check the pass clicker next to it. If you help someone with a wise and they fail the test, you would click the fail ticker. If you use a fate point to use your wise to help yourself, these are only the two cases that you can help yourself with a wise. You spend a fate and you re-roll one failure, one dice that was a failure. You can check that box. If you use a persona with your wise, which allows you to re-roll all your failures, you would check that. Once you check all of these, you can either replace a wise you have with a different wise. And really, I think that's the only option. And normally in a winter phase, you would have the opportunity to get new wises as well. And your traits can change.
Why did you check mine as a pass on the Elven Craft wise?
Because I think I recall you passing a check for that, passing a test for that.
Do you remember what it was? Because I don't remember doing that.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Elven Craft-wise? Yes.
Yeah.
I think you helped it or used it at some point to help somebody pass the test. I think it was when Breck was creating the makeshift ladder.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
I let you use it, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Well,
You showed him how the elves...
check it.
Yeah, you showed him how the elves make makeshift ladders. They're a little more effective than the human way, apparently.
That's right. Okay.
You're like, wait, you're doing that wrong. So make sure you check, the pass, fail, fate, persona boxes next to your wises. And that way we can mix up the wises a little bit as the game goes on. Once you've done all four, you can change the wise or take either a beginner's luck or a skill advancement test related to the wise for free. So you get to check you get to check a skill, pass or fail, or a beginner's luck skill. You get a free checkbox for it, pass or fail.
And I'm sorry, you get that when?
When you've used your wise in all four ways.
Ah, very cool.
Okay. So I have modified. I think everybody. Yeah, I think.
For a wise.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure I used my fate for a wise earlier in the game. I'll have to, I guess, go back through the videos.
If you think you did, go ahead and check it. That's why I'm pointing this out, is because I've been kind of tracking it between sessions and forgetting to tell you guys how that works. All right. So does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So who would like to do the prologue? Does anybody have any tax nature left here?
Oh, I sure do. I think we all do.
Violet does. I think Breck's up to full, though. Yeah.
Why don't you do it, Pingsley? You're going to be better at just talking about the city.
Very well. All right. And so what we did last time, if I recall correctly, was we managed to locate the survivors after that terrible fight with the kobolds that we had 2 sessions ago. We were faced with that oaken door, thinking maybe that would be where the prisoners are kept. We kicked that right open, and there were a bunch of the prisoners therein. They were all very sick, very um, worn, and starving. And so we started to shuffle them out, and just as we began to get them through we heard the yipping and the weird alien sounds of the kobolds from behind us, running and screaming from something bigger and scarier than we were, apparently. And so we were just like, all right, we got to book it. And so we booked it. We pushed these people forward out of almost out of the House of Three Squires. The kobolds running right there with us, away from something behind us. And we pushed them all into the little basement area, the spicy cellar. And then we found out, oh my gosh, it's a giant spider that was chasing us. So we started to try and get that door shut. I tried to help people up the ladder, and it was all very chaotic. The giant spider came in. We had a brief conflict there. The spider grabbed somebody, took him off. I think it was an old woman that the spider grabbed and dragged off into the darkness. Don't you forget what Breck
did.
Oh yes, and of course, while we were running, Breck threw our kobold prisoner back at the spider to save us time. And that worked to an extent, and so we had that conflict. The spider dragged off its second prey, the poor old woman, and we made our way to Griffinholm. Everybody kind of shuffled out, and we made a good friend with the innkeeper's wife, who we rescued, but the innkeeper himself was still trapped, and she made us promise that we would come back to the House of Three Squires and save him, which will be tonight's session. We had a town phase in Griffinholm in which we bought things for a lot more than I thought we would, and we didn't have any conditions though, so we didn't have to pay too much in regards to debts at the end. So in the end, we kind of made a pretty good profit. We came back.
And we got to see your parents.
Lighting. Yep. We met Nana and Popo Bargrain. And
the quote of the day was Pingsley saying to the merchant and realizing, or saying to Breck, hey, he says, gods, like lantern oil is for rich people, Breck.
Yes, lantern oil is for rich people, we found out. We had to sell our lantern. We have another one, though. But we did buy a bunch of good lantern oil, like a lot of it, because Breck is so convincing. And then we made our way back down to the House of Three Squires. So honestly, we're a little bit better equipped than when we started the game, so that's not bad.
The only thing I'm missing is my chain armor. I think I failed at the city of trying to get that repaired.
Yes, both Violet's chainmail armor is damaged and Breck's helmet is also damaged. So you're not going to be able to use those.
In that case,
you do have your shield. Yep.
Pingsley gives his little halfling helmet to Breck, and his little halfling leather armor to Violet.
Well, okay. So what do I do with the chainmail then? Just throw it on the ground because it's damaged?
It's broken. We can get that repaired.
I'll tell you what,
it's going to be a lot cheaper.
Are we going to be heading down the ladder? I can put it in our stash area down there where we're going to start putting our loot.
Let's stash that up.
I can pick it up later.
Let's stash that in the House of Three Squires. I agree.
Yeah, so don't forget that that's laying there then, and I'm going to put on your leather armor, okay?
Mm-hmm. Did I miss anything in the prologue?
No, that was a great prologue.
It was good.
Yeah.
Bravo.
All right.
Yeah, so untax your nature. Right? Yes.
Awesome.
Everybody take a glance at their goals and beliefs and instincts. Make any changes that you'd like.
Anybody changing their goal? Keep in mind.
I think I'm going to change my goal.
Change mine just a little bit more.
What are y'all's goals?
Yeah, because I've been wondering, like, what is the party's goal just in general at this point? You know?
To save the. I think the party's goal in general is to save Ronwald.
Mm-hmm.
I just kept mine the same. My goal is to find something of value because we're hoping. you know,
And
find something else.
I changed mine instead of secure the valuables out of the cellar, it's secure more valuables out of the cellar.
There you go.
All a small modification, but
Just one other thing. Take a look at the cards you have. You can click on the little card icons above your avatar at the bottom left. And any that don't apply, like Breck, I see you have a condition card in there. You can just click and like drag it out onto the tabletop, and we can just delete it out of there. I can try to steal it from you too. Sometimes I can. There you go.
Should I just leave my damaged chain armor there?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if it's damaged and you're not wearing it, are you carrying it, or are you just going to leave it
No,
behind?
we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it down at the bottom of the stairs where we stash our shit, so that when we leave, I can just use my spell, my disc.
And
So I
we'll
can-
also stash Breck's broken helmet.
I'm gonna take it off then.
Okay.
Shoot, how do I get rid of it? Right click
Sorry.
and
Now you can just right-click on it and hit
flip
backspace.
card? A backspace?
Yeah, you can
Hold
just
on.
you can drag over them and delete them.
You can just select it and press delete, or you can right-click on it and select delete.
Well, when I right click, it says take card or flip card.
Okay.
Left click them and just delete.
Yeah, select it so that it looks selected with a blue box around it. And I usually just use backspace to delete something.
Oh, okay, I got it. Thank you.
All right, I
And
think Viola has a dagger and a bow. Looks like Pingsley has a lantern. I think he's been the light bearer. I just put the lantern in there. He has a hand axe and a dagger. And Breck has that battle axe. Was that left behind? I think it was.
yeah. I have the sword and I have a shield.
Okay, let me put the shield in there for you. Because a shield in this game really counts as a weapon, Lee. When you use your shield, you're going to be taking the defend action, usually, in a conflict. That gives you +2 dice on the defend roll.
Sean, I have a question about my traveling spell book. You added a spell, rumors/notes.
Yeah, I figured out on your character sheet, guys, if you need space to make notes, at the very bottom under spells and prayers, there's the traveling spell book entries. They don't have to be spells, like you can use them as headings. Like you can put, descriptions of your trait, or you can put rumors and use the box on the right over there as just a text box you can write in notes, just by adding spells to the spell book, even if you're not spell book. So I figured that's the only way on this sheet, apparently. They don't give you a space to actually write notes on it, unless you use the bio section. So that's why I did that, Angie.
Okay.
So just to be clear, Angie, looking at your spells and prayers, you're a 2nd level ranger now. So you can actually memorize 2 spells at a time. You have a mental inventory, right? That's what this little grid is here. And see where it says first circle spells? Under mental inventory?
Yeah, that's level 2.
That
right?
shows that you can memorize 2 spells at a time. And the memory check boxes next to each spell shows that you have it memorized. So in other words, you can know 4 different spells, right? But you can only have 2 of them memorized at one time. And you usually decide in camp or in town, which spells you have memorized for the next adventure phase.
So, okay, so like this tonight is an adventure phase. Would the next time we play be a new adventure phase? Because what I'm saying is, like, if I choose Word of Binding now, does that mean all the way until we camp again, or what does that mean?
Well, Violet only knows 2 spells. She has 2 spells in her spell book, in her library, back wherever home is or whatever, and she can memorize 2 spells now. She can have up to 2 spells in her memory, so she only knows 2 spells. So essentially, for the time being, you're going to know both. You're going to be able to cast both Word of Binding and Mystic Border in any adventure phase that you're in. You can't.
But what if I cast the Word of Binding? Then does that mean I can't use the Mystic Porter?
That means you uncheck that it's out of memory that you've used it.
But I still can use the Mystic Porter. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Can I use both spells tonight, like say just today.
Once. Yes, that's what the memory checkbox next to each spell is.
Once.
Yeah, so
Okay,
when you use Word of Binding, you'll uncheck memory to show that it's no longer memorized.
Cool. Okay.
Now you can in just one more little thing, you can memorize one spell more than once. So say I'm going to uncheck both memory. So right now you have no spells in memory, right? And you're trying to decide which spells to memorize. Mm-hmm. You could choose to memorize Word of Binding twice. You know, so that you could cast Word of Binding twice during the adventure phase, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Or Mystic Porter twice.
Or Mystic Porter twice, yeah.
But we could be carrying all kinds of loot out of this place, guys.
But just by default, I just put you at having memorized Word of Binding and Mystic Porter as you're leaving town. So you have one use of each spell. Until the next camp phase or town phase, at least. Alright, cool.
Sweet.
So let's just assume that you guys have spent roughly, 2 days in town. Okay? You spent the night and maybe some of the next day. The trip to the House of Three Squires is just but a, few-hour walk, probably, through Reverie. And passing through Reverie, you find that the survivors from the House of Three Squires has spread all kinds of rumors in Reverie. There is much of it is inaccurate. Some of them, there's a rumor of a dragon's lair that lies below the House of Three Squires at this point. But there's there's a lot of talk today. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about the House of Three Squires and the survivors that were rescued by these mysterious adventurers. And as you appear in Reverie, you meet a couple of the survivors there, and they say that they're being very well taken care of, by the populace. Although the petty knight that rules Reverie has required them pay visitors' tax, but the townsfolk have passed the dish around, and they're contributing to help these people. But you're introduced, by some of the more prominent citizens of Reverie, and they're very impressed, with the stories coming out of the House of Three Squires. They're asking you all kinds of questions, trying to get the real story out of you about, what happened, and are you going back to slay the dragon?
Yes!
Of course we are.
We can't let them just lay there in their nest beneath the House of Three Squires. We must valiantly push forward.
Here.
Yeah, and they're all like, ah, and they're buying you drinks. Breck's got like 6 mugs lined up in front of him. But you're all very well met in Reverie as you pass through that afternoon. And feeling quite confident now as you're traveling on the road down to the House of Three Squires. Once you get to the inn, it is a fortified inn, so there's like a wooden palisade, a wall that surrounds the structure of the inn itself and the outbuildings. And there's no sign of anybody being here. You kind of half expected that maybe some passers-by would have been here the last couple of days, but there's really no sign of any new activity in the area since you left.
Scared. They've heard the rumors.
But we're not scared. We're going in again.
It's our oyster. At the pry bars.
So let's get everybody's tokens lined up here. Everybody's condition free, right?
Yes.
We're fresh. Fresh.
How do I get rid of that box?
Not technically fresh. You don't have the fresh condition, but yes, you're feeling much better. To get fresh, you have to go to town and not build up any lifestyle, and then come out with no conditions or anything. It's kind of hard to be fresh. You're still a little battered and bruised, Breck. Pingsley's still got a bit of a limp.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Right.
By the way, it's always smart if we can in these first three turns to build up at least one check so that we can camp reset the grind and get rid of any of the conditions that we've developed for failures. That way the grind itself won't necessarily harm us. The only thing about that is if we don't play it smart, we'll find it very difficult to find a place to camp.
Correct. And keep in mind that you don't have to leave the dungeon to camp. You could camp in the dungeon. It's just a little more dangerous.
I mean, it can be a lot more dangerous.
Or a lot more
depending.
dangerous.
Like if we
yeah.
find out, I mean, if we're going down here to camp in the kobold courtroom or the lizard lounge, heck, maybe even the empty meat cellar at this point. I mean, that means we're practically in the spider's nest. So that spider could just come up, attack us, and we'd start getting.
Oh, well, we're gonna
conditions and
kill
stuff,
that
and would be a
before.
problem.
We're gonna find it and kill it.
Spiders are notoriously difficult to find, but yeah, we can definitely try.
Alright, well, let's see what we run into here.
Let's do it. Okay, so just for reference, did any of us change our goals?
Guys, go ahead and keep playing. I have to deal with this dog for a little while. I got to go take it out really quick and then feed it.
No problem. Take your time.
Just keep, yeah, but I'll be right back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, take your time.
So my goal is I will make up for my previous cowardice and show my worth to Breck and Violet.
Oh. My previous cowardice.
That's cute.
Digging deep
Okay.
into those hidden depths, Kingsley is.
Okay.
Adjusting to the life of adventuring. He's
Do we
been
need
a
to
cook
take the
so
4
long.
casks of beer off the inn proper?
No, you can leave it on there. It's where you found them.
Oh,
It's fine.
I just was gonna say, man. And there's no more casks of beer, from what I understand, right?
That's right. You guys bartered them off in Griffinholm for some torches. And some oil, I think.
I bet that dragon's down there in that freaking natural spring.
The dragon? Well, there's no sign of a dragon so far. But there are rumors in Reverie now. All kinds of wild rumors. So you're not sure what to think. I mean, of course, you know, the survivors told the people about the kobolds and how you guys were rescued, how they were rescued from them by you guys. But the rumors are seeming to fly at the moment of all different kinds of things. You know, the spider the size of a house. It's quite that big.
Well, what's on the outside of this place? Inside the
yeah, there's
the
just
wooden
like a
structure, I mean.
perimeter that's surrounded by a wooden wall, and there's the inn proper, which is like a 2-story building with a basement. And then there are some other outbuildings like the innkeeper's private home, you know, an outhouse or two, a well, stables, things like that.
Ooh, the well. Does the well just so happen to be perfectly positioned above the natural spring?
It doesn't seem to be.
You know, we haven't explored upstairs in this inn.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, there wasn't much left
We did?
except for some stray liquor and beer.
If you'd like, I can mark the. If you'd like, I can mark it. I can mark the rooms we've actually taken the time to search.
Second story
Yeah,
or
I was
whatever.
actually using question marks for rooms that you hadn't searched. At
That's
one
a good
point, but
idea.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
check them off. Yeah.
Well, we didn't throw a rock in that natural spring, so I really wouldn't say we've know for everything about that. There could be something lurking in that water down there.
Yeah.
Empty meat
I think
cellar, we did.
I think we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. The pit.
I mean, the pit is a pit. I've explored that pretty well. I broke my leg down there.
Was the pit just? Well, that was just like a trap.
Yeah, it's literally
That was
just
just
a
a
trap. It's not a
hole.
room. Yeah.
Right. And just think
There
of all the
wasn't anything in there.
consequences that Pingsley's been through since falling in the pit.
It's been terrible.
Yeah.
You can check the kobold females leader captured room.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-mm.
We didn't really search that.
Nope, we've been there. We just didn't search the room. This was the room with the
Yes, it is. That's where the guy was on the table, right?
No, that was the kobold courtroom.
Oh.
These last two rooms, we just didn't really have time to search.
I
we
searched
killed
the
all...
prison, didn't I? I thought I did.
No, we killed the... Well, we didn't have time because we killed the kobolds, and as soon as we got in the prison, we were like, hey, do we want to search it? And that's when we heard the screams, and so we
Maybe we
started
should go
to-
back
we
up
just
there and
booked
search before we head up that left chamber.
it. Search for, except for traps. I would say we should just go places we haven't been before. We don't have a way to circumvent that sheer passage down. Hey, Dad. How many slots does a person take?
I'm sorry.
How many slots does a person take in inventory?
What the hell are you talking
About
about?
using, he's thinking about using the disc to have a person on.
Can we
correct?
use Mom's mystical porter to carry us across the pit?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Why not? It's a big.
That was that other
shimmering
spell. There's a
disc.
spell that does that, but I think it's just for myself though.
I don't believe you. Hold on, let me.
No, a whole
You
human
can't
body.
put a person in a
whole
slot.
person takes up much more than 8 slots. By the way, though, Angie, if you look
How
at the
about a
spell
halfling?
description, you can make a harder roll with a higher ob for 10 slots or 12 slots even for that disc.
Yeah, that's
Which is
we were
pretty
looking
awesome.
at that.
I'm just going
Oh,
to put a note up
doesn't
here,
look like
too. In this passageway, up here,
There's warm air.
yeah, there was warm air coming out of that passageway.
Hey, how many turns does it take to get back to like one of the cities? Like the one that we were just at?
For that distance, none, really. I'm not even having it be part of the adventure phase, traveling back from here to the city. It's only a few-hour walk.
Okay.
But
that's
if there was a wilderness trek involved between locations, it'd certainly be we'd do a wilderness sort of adventure phase.
okay. So are you back late? Kinda.
Wait a minute, Dad. I have.
Take care of
Dad,
his
I do
dog.
have an annotated and bookmarked Torchbearer book.
Oh, okay.
It's alphabetical.
All right, cool.
Beautiful. Okay, so hold on. For some reason, I can't open the spell in the spell index, like on the in Roll20, so I have to go to the book. Mystic Porter, it's called.
Yeah, that's the other spell I was talking about, but I think it's for only myself. I think.
Well, okay, Dad. A halfling, though. A halfling's practically a child. A fat child, but a child. Can it carry this lightweight person?
No.
I mean, I could put like a whole pig on that.
You can put a pig on it.
But I can't put a halfling. A pig is bigger than a halfling.
What's the... Yeah, the thing is, though, here's the thing about the disc, okay? It follows Violet very closely, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all these questions can be answered by the description of the spell. Just look at Mystic Porter.
Ah, the spell creates a shield-sized disc that floats at the height of the caster's waist and can carry up to 8 inventory slots. It follows the caster at a range of roughly 6 feet.
Thank you. So it's not... She can't tell it where to go. Just follows her.
Well, can she, like, push it to the middle of the pit, and then I jump from off of it, and...
That might be a good idea. It might be just disastrous, though.
Yeah, but okay, so... okay, so... Yeah, alright, so I don't
It's
necessarily
almost like
need
you're
to
not
be
talking
on
to
it.
the Game Master here. You're talking to Violet. So Violet, you're looking down at Pingsley, and he's like using his hands to like describe what he's saying. He's like, I could get onto the disc, and that could get me over the pit. I could just a short jump, right?
And here's what I'm gonna say. I would say to you that I can put things in the disc, items, but I cannot. You can't stand on the disc.
I don't need to stand on it. I just need to hop off in a second. Like, you could just make it a little stepping stone in the middle of the pit. We could just jump right. I could just... Yeah. Look, I think it'll work.
A little person could, in fact, stand on the disc, Angie. And you've had some practice with this, you know, when you were taught this spell. You've had some practice with it.
But what's good is sending one person over the pit.
Hold on.
And then you're stuck over there.
Yeah, hold on. Breck says, hold on. Use the voice of reason.
Here's another. First of all, where are we located right now exactly?
You guys
we
are just
presently in the spicy cellar.
Okay. Well, no, you're not actually. You're in the inn, actually.
The inn.
That's better. All right. So, how far is it across the pit, Kingsley? How many feet?
You could use wood and make a freaking walkway.
Yeah.
Dad.
Ladder.
I mean, I didn't really get that good of a look. I only got a good look at how deep it is after it crushed my poor little leg.
Well, I saw it, Sean. What do I think? 10 feet across, 12 feet across? What did it look like?
That sounds about right. It's not too far.
12 feet.
And there's a very precarious sort of small edge that goes around the pit where it meets the walls. You know, figured, you know, maybe with some rope or something, you might be able to navigate the ledge along the wall very carefully.
Yeah, well, the ledge is for little kobold feet.
I mean, or
I was thinking more of like actually creating some kind of like bridge, basically.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. So
much wood.
Yeah. And I mentioned this before. I mean, another option would be to fill it in. There's all kinds of junk down here in the cellar, broken furniture and casks and
there you go.
Coal and shit lying around. I mean, if you filled it up, yeah.
Coal. I didn't think about that. Do we have? Yeah, where? Well, we don't know where they're keeping the coal. Can we? Yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of coal because they have an oven up here, right?
Well, the other place to check too is this area up here that we did, this left passage out of the cobalt courtroom.
Yeah, the warm air. I think that's where we should go first before we start descending down somewhere crazy.
We might or the natural descending ladder. One of those two.
Mm-hmm.
If we do the ladder, I think that's where we heard the spider coming from.
Yeah, the spider's from down here somewhere.
Yeah, so I would assume if it was injured or it was, you know, it's eating the old woman, it's probably in its lair.
When you first encountered the spider, it was here.
But the kobolds started running away from over here, so we can.
They did come from that direction, yes.
We can discern that they were here, and then the spider came out.
That's right.
Okay. Well, you guys want to go down then, the makeshift ladder?
Now let's go to the warm air.
No, I mean we have to come down. We have to go down. But I mean we have to go down the makeshift ladder. I mean, from where we are.
Let's do it.
Heading down. Okay, into the spicy cellar, and then
through the empty meat cellar into the limestone cavern.
Yeah, so as you guys stand discussing your plan near the spiked door that leads down into the spicy cellar, the makeshift ladder, I assume that you would unspike the door, you know, to get down there. When you do, you realize... Huh?
How many spikes does that give us back?
2.
Nice.
Okay,
Aha.
I take those.
Yeah, good idea. Well, I take my chain armor, and I'm looking around in the spicy cellar when I get down there, and I'm like...
Well, the problem is your makeshift ladder is gone. It seems to have been disassembled and hacked down.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, those darn dastardly kobolds!
It's okay. We can create another ladder.
Yeah, it's about a 10-foot drop.
Should have bought a ladder.
Why don't we just go take a door off of a couple rooms and just like freaking nail them together and just fucking slide it down?
Why don't we just hammer some freaking spikes into this wall to just climb up?
Yeah, it wouldn't take much to get down there and create a little spike ladder kind of a thing.
Or better yet, just like dig in. We don't have to use the spikes. We can just dig into the wall itself, right? Is that just dirt wall?
Well, down on the floor down there, really it's just the remnants of the collapsed stairs, and the pieces of furniture and stuff you guys used to construct the ladder with bits of rope. Looks like there's some salvageable rope down there.
Okay.
I mean, you could
Then the beer
fashion
cakes
another
is what we
makeshift
use.
ladder without too much trouble, given that you probably use
Alright.
some spikes, you know?
But didn't
Well,
we
in that
stack beer
case-
cakes and then
Uh-huh.
make? That's how we did it, right?
Yeah, it was kind of just a conglomeration of all the junk.
Right.
All right. Well,
We
in
just
that
need-
case, let's just head back down there and remake a way up.
Alright, so I just gonna require the use of some spikes for this. You can nail in some boards into the wall itself just to create a ladder that you could climb up, you know?
Can we just reuse the salvageable rope and just create a rope climbing thing just to climb the rope?
Like a rope ladder.
Yeah. Can we just spike a rope into the top here?
Well, the rope's at the bottom, I think he said. Unless y'all have rope
That's
on.
okay. One of us can stay on the top. One of us comes down to the bottom. We go down there. We grab the rope. We throw it up, and then he just spikes it. We do make a couple knots for grab holds, and then there you go. Can we do that?
Yeah, I would say that you really don't even need to use the rope. You could use one or the other, either rope or spikes. Like I
Okay,
said,
let's
there
use
is
the salvageable
salvageable rope. You can pick up the rope, put it in your pack, or you can use the rope to make a ladder, or you can use some Breck spikes to make the ladder, one or the other. It's not going to require
Let's
a
use
test or anything.
let's use the rope. Keep the spikes.
All right. Well, when I get down there, I'm taking some of this rummaged crap,
Mhm.
and I'm making kind of like a barrier area, like in a corner, you know, like where you can't really see what would really be behind it. And I'm gonna put my chain mail down on the floor, back in that corner, and kind of hide it behind a bunch of shit, you know, like a bunch of debris.
Okay, so Violet's making a hidey hole in the cellar. Maybe note that on the map that there's a hidey hole there in the cellar. Chainmail.
Do we still have Captain Jack with us?
Oh yes, Captain Jack's still with you.
Cool.
So he gets handed down.
He's sniffing around.
He helps dig.
Fresh.
He's
Yeah,
fresh. I
Yes,
think.
Captain Jack fresh.
He's got his nose pointed over there to that empty meat cellar next door,
He does.
where that urine smell's coming from.
All right, so we make that ladder again, and we'll head back to the natural stone, or I guess the warm air. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's
there is
go.
a dragon lair down here.
Says
Somebody needs to
Kingsley.
put hidey hole in the spicy cellar. Hidey hole. Whoever's typing that in.
Oh, okay.
I think the warm air is a good place to check out.
Okay.
I agree.
So we're just heading straight there,
Yeah, well, we're kind of as I'm
without the
walking
benefit
through,
of a map.
Well, I'm kind of walking through where the gouge door is, where that spider was before, and I got my bow drawn, okay? Because I'm like,
Mhm.
not sure where he was right in that area, and I'm
We're
looking
still,
to
we're,
see if that kobold woman is on the floor, or if the spider took it, or what's up with that.
we're still looking for traps because if these guys came back in and broke up that ladder, it's possible they've reset traps.
Good
Yeah,
call.
searching.
So we're
Yeah,
definitely
so
careful.
I'll thoroughly
Yeah.
search that area to
Yeah,
make
how
sure.
long has it been since we left? A day or two? A week?
It's been a couple of days now.
Okay, so they could have definitely dug a pitfall here. Yeah, we keep an eye out for pitfalls and wire traps specifically.
Okay. Violet, this is also where you guys originally encountered those giant rats. No sign of rats in here currently. You know, as you enter the chamber, Captain Jack enters behind you. He's sniffing around. He's not giving you any tell of any danger or anything. He's just sniffing. As you shine the light, who's carrying the light here?
That would be myself with a lantern. I think I'm gonna go ahead and light that.
Do so. All right, Kingsley, as you shine your lantern down into the tunnels, it appears that the female kobold that Breck tossed is no longer there. And you get up to the intersection here, where the pit is to the left. Or I'm sorry,
Alright,
the pit is to
right.
the right, and the lizard lounge is to the left.
I checked for that tripwire.
We're checking for traps as we go.
Tripwire is no
so
longer
we'll
there.
fish-
Tripwire is no longer there. As
Okay.
you enter the lizard lounge, where and this room is full of stalactites and stalagmites everywhere.
All right, let's head back. Let's head north to the warm air.
Okay, you get into the kobold courtroom. It's there. No sign of any new activity. I mean, you see a lot of tiny footprints everywhere, but
What do we
we
hear?
searched that room. Have we searched that room before?
Yes, I think you did.
Yeah, green check mark means we searched it, I think, now. Do I hear anything?
What are you doing?
We're in the
Going.
kobold courtroom, and I'm trying to hear if there's any noises come from that descending natural stone ladder area or north of where we are. I'm just listening to hear what I hear, if I hear anything.
You hear very slight sound of trickling water up there, and there is this sort of warm air coming from that passage.
Okay, let's head up to the warm air.
Okay. The corridor gets warmer and warmer as you continue north until there's just sweat freely running down your brow. You reach a large, roughly rectangular chamber, and there's this in the back of the chamber. There seems to be this sort of rise of natural stone. It's been shaped by just years of water trickling over it. You can see water trickling off onto the floor in here, running off into these holes. And atop this area, it's kind of risen up a little bit in the back. There appear to be a couple of large bronze braziers, which are not lit, but they're just kind of smoldering back there. There's kind of smoke coming up from them, but otherwise the room seems to be uninhabited.
Exits.
None.
Any sign of why this room is so hot?
Yes, it's very warm in here. It looks like it's probably because of these large braziers that have been burning in here. They're just
But you said they're
smoldering
not
now,
lit.
though.
They were,
They
but they're still
lit
smoldering.
recently.
We'll do a methodical search of the room.
Yep.
As you kind of climb up onto this area in the back of the room, the stone ledge is really what it is. You can see signs of what appears to be nesting. There's all kinds of bric-a-brac material that's wound and bound up into these sort of nest-shaped areas. There's about 6 of them. Don't appear to be any eggs in any of these nests, but it does look like there are remnants of maybe a couple of broken eggs. It looks like a nursery or a hatchery or something. But there really aren't any intact eggs in here.
Right, so
Do
It
we
looks like
smell anything, or
looks like it's been abandoned.
they got their babies out?
yeah, so we'll search. If there's nothing there, we'll exit. And let's
We can do a scout test to search around, see if you find anything.
Can I do that?
Let's have Violet do it, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Vi can do it without using a turn. It's her instinct, right?
Yeah, it is my instinct. I can check it. Yeah, I always thoroughly search unexplored areas. That's my instinct. So,
I mean, Ob2 scout test.
okay. I have a 2 though. Can anybody help?
No, because you're using an instinct.
So I can't win.
You can if you succeed with 2, if you succeed twice, or if you explode your dice. And even if you fail, Mom, that's not too bad of an idea because...
because I'll go up. I'll
you'll
go up with my scout.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I actually need to fail this.
Well, then
Yeah,
you can use a trait against yourself for a check.
Let's look at
For a
something
-1
here, too.
die.
Yeah.
For a check and a fail?
I mean, yeah, you'll fail because you'll have
And
only
then I'll
1
get a-
die.
And what would the check go next to?
The check would go to, it would be your trait. You'd get a literal check for used against your trait, so that means we can use that during camp.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, you can help someone using an instinct in this way with with your instinct, or with a wise, I believe. So if you have a relevant wise to scouting, you could help.
Yeah, but Alex, my trait's loner or calm.
So you can find a way to use one or the other. You could use loner by doing it alone.
Well, you guys are in the room with me, right? Does that work, Sean?
Yeah. What does that look like?
Okay, so I'm gonna do one. I mean, I guess I just kind of go off deeper into the room by myself.
Here's the way I suggested that would kind of look like. So
would chrono-wise?
In some situations I might, not necessarily in particular in this one though, I think, Lee. So here's kind of the way I see it. Like Violet's, okay, we need to see if there's anything of value in here, right? And Pingsley, watch where you're stepping. Just stay right there. Breck, hold off. So Violet wants to kind of search this thing by herself so nobody disturbs the evidence. All right.
Yeah, it's like Breck, watch the door. Pingsley, get out of here. You're making too much noise.
Yeah, and as usual, Violet's using big words that you guys don't understand, so she has to kind of tell you in layman's terms. So once we're done with that, Violet, you can make your search of the room with a scout roll.
Of 1, right? Because I'm using a -1.
Right.
So I'm going to fail.
Okay.
Right?
You can roll it anyways, though.
I totally failed. Okay. So I get a fail, and then
so you put the check by your fail. And, yeah, when does that happen, Dad?
What?
When do you progress in a skill?
Immediately.
Oh,
okay, so
immediately. There you go. Remove all your checks from it and
I'm up.
Go up. Awesome. And then put a check next to your used against on loner.
Yeah, so I need to be the one always searching rooms because that's going to really help us out. So I got a check for loner, and then I'm a 3 scout now. That's sweet.
That is awesome. That's the first skill I think we've had in the party that's gone up.
Yeah.
All
Very cool.
Right. All right, so as Violet is very judiciously and very closely inspecting the room, you don't really find anything of value, but come to find out later, you've lost something.
What'd she lose? Uh-oh.
Violet, you may not realize this until later when you need them, but you've lost your candles.
What?
Yeah, apparently there might be a small tear in your backpack. Your candles just kind of fell out of your backpack and nobody noticed.
Well, at least I got an open slot for some jewels.
The eternal optimist.
So mark those candles off of your sheet there, okay?
I did.
Okay. Very good.
Good. Okay.
I'm sorry, there are no exits to this room?
None.
Very good. Okay, that leaves 2 places we can explore, both of which kind of seem to be leading in the same direction, huh?
Mm-hmm. Also, the hot room here would count as a source of water as well. Water does seem to be potable in here. It's a little warm and minerally, but drinkable.
We don't really need that right now, though, do we? Unless...
Nope.
You never know.
But if we needed it later, water source, it says.
Right.
All right, so what are we heading down to the natural stone ladder then, guys?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Oh no, man. Okay.
Oh. Well, Breck, what do you want to do?
Well, I can describe it to you again, Breck, if it makes you feel any more comfortable. Basically, it's it's kind of a natural ladder, kind of carved out of the stone just from years of erosion, that kind of leads down, and you can see shining. You could see before when you're inspecting it, shining your light. There's a bottom to it. It's not too far down. It doesn't look like too hard of a climb. It does go down into that cold darkness, though.
Yeah, it's the. I'm just saying, if we go down here, get ready to get down with the spider.
Heck, there might be multiple spiders.
Right. So that's just something to be aware of. Have your Have your weapons out. Be ready to
Oh yeah.
rumble. All right.
I got my bow.
I'm not afraid, Breck. We'll do this.
Cool. So I'll walk down there, shield out, sword out, man.
Okay.
I'm
Alex
glad you're
behind
back in
the
the fight
bow.
with us, Kingsley.
Kingsley needs a little help down the ladder. A couple of the steps are a little too big for him. So Brett kind of helps him down like a toddler, you know, picks him up by the waist. Here you go, Kingsley. Thanks a lot.
Says Pingsley sarcastically. And then, all right, so we get to the bottom.
Breck, I
here.
really don't know what I would do
without you. Are we immediately assailed upon by hundreds of evil giant spiders?
You're immediately assailed by a chamber crammed with items. They appear to be items seized from the inn.
Ooh.
Furniture,
Nice.
casks, like crates. What's kind of prominent, there's this big, heavy, ornately carved wooden desk. It's gigantic. It's really nice, though. It's like made out of some kind of exotic wood.
Hmm.
It looks like it's still in pretty good. Looks like they carried it down here and just set it in this chamber.
I look at the desk, and then I look at Pingsley, and I look at the desk, and then I look at Pingsley. I'm like,
And you think, how the hell are we going to get this out of here with you?
oh no! I say, I bet there's some locked. You have thieving skills. You should go.
Open the
yeah.
doors.
But
how do you
otherwise-
know if
What's
they're
on that
locked?
desk?
Otherwise, there's just like piles of clothing, pots and pans. Violet nearby, you see a fiddle, like a violin with a crack in the
Nice.
body lying there on the floor.
Aw.
Lots of tin spoons and plates. Looks like the loot
Well,
that the
before we,
kobolds looted from the inn.
Dude, you can
Oh, before
sell
we-
plates and silverware and stuff.
Before we go crazy and start a full-on search, I suggest we really eyeball this room to see if there's a spider on the ceiling or somewhere. We'll pause for a second at the entrance
Yeah.
Yeah.
and really
This
look
is too
and
good
really
to be
use
true.
to
Yeah,
scan
Breck-
the room.
Breck puts his finger up to his lips, to Violet, and then he points up, like shine the light up there without saying anything, But no, there's no spider in here.
Really?
Are there exits?
Nothing larger than a mouse, anyway.
Cool.
No spiders
So
larger than a mouse.
Exits?
We begin our search.
There is an exit. There's a passageway leading out of here to the south.
Okay.
Let's search that ornate desk, man. There's got to be a secret little hidden compartment in there somewhere.
For sure. We get
there's a-
that thing.
Okay. And also, there's a lot of stuff to look under and turn over and just inspect in here.
Yeah, man. We do
Yeah,
a
I'm doing that.
We do a
we're
thorough
all doing
search.
Silverware, jewelry, coin. That looks like.
Yeah. So let's not bother with the instinct then. Let's just get searching so we can get all the help.
Okay.
Violet, do you want to lead it, or who wants to lead the search?
Well, I've got the scout skill of 3 now. It's gone up 1. Does that mean that I
Right.
should do it?
Awesome.
No,
There
that's
do
awesome.
appear, Alex, Pingsley does notice that some of the drawers in this desk are gone. Or they might be among the rubble in here, like the drawers of them were put up. But the drawers that are intact, still part of the desk, a couple of them do appear to have locks on them.
Great.
For
Can I do
traps.
a separate check while they're doing that for criminal? Or,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't ask that. I'm going to then, while they're searching, I'm going to take out my lockpicks and I'm going to get those locks all taken care of.
Okay.
Well, I have criminal wise as my wise, and then
Perfect.
for traits I have quick witted, so I could probably use that to help.
What are you
Search,
using, Pingsley?
Sure.
What are you using to pick the lock? What's it called? What's your skill?
Oh, well, that's up to Dad.
The skill is criminal to pick a lock.
Criminal.
Yep.
But listen, here's how it's going to work, I would say. It's an OB4 scout test that I'm going to require here.
So
As far as
I
the
can
drawer,
add quick-witted.
well, as far as the drawers, yeah, we could just kind of count that into the scout test with Breck helping with criminal wise to help with the
And
locks.
I will help with criminal. Does that mean I can also help with my tools?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I help with criminal and the tools, so that's +2. I mean, I guess that's assuming that Mom then would have the tools for the skill because I have thieves' tools, and that's kind of in the factors,
I
right?
think that makes sense. And this is just also
Okay.
a general search of the room too. It's a double effort to search the
Okay,
room
so I'm
and
doing a scout
open the
then?
locks. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing scout, and it's +1 help from Breck and he's using a wise to insulate himself.
So I get 6.
Right.
And then
And-
it's +2 from me.
Yeah, and Lee, you can only use traits for or against yourself when you're making the test, by the way. You can't really help with traits, but you can help with criminal wise.
3.
Look at that. One short.
Oh, but it is OB4, so
Hold on, let's see.
do you have?
Guys,
You rolled 1-6.
I did.
You spend a fate point to re-roll that, to roll for that 6.
I will.
It's about your only option at this point. You're going to fail.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a tough one.
So I got 3.
And you can just roll 1 more die with a fate.
Oh, yes! I did it!
Oh yeah!
Nice.
I did it!
Nice.
Look at that.
I was thinking of all kinds of nasty twists that I could do with that roll.
So all I had to do was equal the ob to succeed it?
That's
Yes.
right. You got 4 successes. Very, very nice. So, Breck, you can check pass next to your wise for criminal wise if it's not checked already. Pingsley, you could spend a check if you had one to get a skill check for that, but you guys succeeded. Excellent. Inside the desk, as you work at it and finally get it open, you find a couple of things. You find a worn brass key, and also a strange, what appears to be a work of art, carven in wood. And as you kind of get your fingers around it, get a closer look at it, it appears to be a mask, a wooden mask.
Whoa.
Hmm.
I have Elven Craftwise. Identify something that is of Elven work. And am I remembering that maybe this might be Elven? Or what? Do I remember anything with that?
The mask appears to be in the shape of like a human-like face. But on the edges it has like it's kind of strange because it actually looks human, but it also looks very kind of mouse-like in a way. It's got kind of a button nose. It has whiskers like engraved into it. It's almost like it's like a mouse mask.
I put it on.
I stop him from doing. I don't let him do that. I grab his hand and I'm like, oh, sometimes items can be cursed.
Yeah.
What are you,
Careful.
superstitious?
Breck, Breck grabs the
Very
mask from Pingsley
superstitious.
and scolds him. It looks like this is. I'm not hearing you, Angie. Am I cutting out here? Is it my Discord, probably? Alright, what happened here? Hold on, Discord's freaking out on me. Actually, it's internet. All right, there we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Well,
you got
mechanically, in this game, the thing
you can
is,
do it.
there's
I'm not gonna
not an
prevent you.
identify spell. Your wizard can't sit down and be like, I cast identify on this mysterious object, and then, oh, it's cursed, or oh, it's not. You gotta use these things. You're never gonna know their value.
So, yeah, I mean, if Violet, I think you had mentioned you'd like to use your knowledge of elven craft and such to try to determine, like, what the what the intention of this, the creator of this mask was, or if it has any kind of significance, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'd say you might be able to get it ID'd at like a city or something by like someone who made magic items or something, right? If it is magic, it might just be a wooden house mask. I don't know.
Well, here's what I suggest. I mean, of course, Violet as an elf is wise about elven craft. Does not appear to be elven, Violet, but you may remember something. You may think of something where it might put things into context for this. I would allow like a nature test using remembering for Violet.
Okay.
On this.
Well, I got a 4 for that.
Okay.
Was there some kind of ob or something with this?
Yeah, it's not too hard. Say ob 2.
Oh Lord. And they can't help with nature.
See if you know something about like superstition and shit like that.
Oh, apparently I only have 1. Oh shit.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Wait, does that take a check on the grind
Yes.
to examine it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What did you roll?
Technically, it would.
Did you roll a 6 or?
No, I rolled a 1, 4, and the rest were bad. 1, 1, 2.
Well, did we even consider help here at all, though?
No.
Well, I don't know if anybody can help with nature, can they?
Well, nobody has like lore master or
a wise.
I think it would be lore master or a wise.
I'm the one who has lore master. Shouldn't I have just?
Yes, you should have used lore master. Well, no, nature is better because you have a higher nature.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so I don't remember. So does something bad happen to me? Because I don't remember something.
Yes, it goes from being magical and blessed to cursed and evil.
Guys, keep playing. I could probably hear you. I just gotta let this dog out for a second, okay?
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
I probably can still hear you up to a point. So keep playing.
So, Violet, there is something significant about this mask. You remember something, about, the elves were known to create magical items with masks, as well as some of the more primitive human tribes that had shamans and things like that. You think it may have some significance value. You're not sure if it's magical or not, though, per se. But it's just like, it's kind of right on the, it's right in your mind somewhere. You just can't remember what it is. And it's a very strange sort of thing to look at. Because if you would have put it on, you would look like you would have the face of a mouse,
Yeah. Well, I think it's significant enough to keep.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You know who happens to have an open head piece? Or open head slot? Yours truly.
Well, it's either you put it in your pack or you put it on your face, but what if you start changing or something starts happening to you? Because we don't know if it's magic.
Then that's unfortunate.
Oh my god. You're willing to take that risk. You
Maybe
want that mouse face so bad.
For extra sensory perception, a mask of cheese finding, mouse form.
For a cook, cheese cook, fits you perfectly.
Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it just takes me over and I kill myself or something terrible like that. I don't know. I guess we can have it examined, but that costs money.
Well, we're going to have it examined anyway to find out its value, really.
That's true. All right, fine. I want to put it in my pack, though.
Please do. You can have
mouse mask. Is that 1 slot?
The mask, right. Yes.
All right, cool. I put the mouse mask in my pack, and we're 2 on the grind now.
Now, what else was in that drawer besides the mask?
Yes.
A worn brass key.
Ooh, we take that too.
Yeah. That.
That's very interesting. What would that go to? Another. Would it go to the desk? Are there any other drawers on the desk we could see if
Yeah,
these
you
Does
try
that
the
take
lock.
a spot?
The key, yes.
I can't, like, take the string around my holy symbol.
Yeah,
It is kind of small.
it is pretty small. I would say no. You can carry the worn brass key. Just make a note of it.
Okay.
So you got the key too? But is there another drawer on the desk right now we could try the key on?
You do, and the key does not fit any of the locks in the drawers.
Okay. So are there
It
any more
must-
drawers that need to be open, or did I pass
The
to
key
open all the drawers?
the key must go to something else, to some other lock somewhere.
Do we have all the drawers that are in the desk open? And have we?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a key and a mask. Anything else?
Nothing.
And the whole desk has been explored.
That's right.
Okay, I'm looking
now,
at the linens.
And
in the
Violet, after all that deep thinking, it makes you really kind of feeling pretty hungry. You haven't eaten since breakfast. So you're now hungry and
I'm
thirsty.
hungry. Okay.
See,
All right. What else do we find by turning all the stuff over?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, what about these linens and stuff? Are the linens look of value or anything?
Yeah, we can
that
see
are
if
in
you
the room?
guys. Yeah, we can see if you guys find something else.
we're bag of loose coin.
It's gonna be random, whatever it is.
Coin.
You find a number of candles,
Okay.
Hey, the ones we
Give me
lost.
candles back.
and yeah, surprisingly enough,
I'll put those back.
I mean
in the
several
spot
candles
where I
actually,
had them
like
before.
12 candles in a box, in one of the
How
desk
many
drawers.
can I carry? All 12 of them in?
3, I believe it's, what is it, Alex? 3, 4, 5
I
candles.
believe
takes up a slot?
candles are. I believe it is
3?
4 per slot. One moment. Let me just check that though, just to be sure.
Okay, so you said a box of 12 candles.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to keep track of this. If I take 4 and put them in my pack and leave the others behind.
Right.
How many spikes? So if I only had 2 spikes in a slot, could I carry 2 candles as well?
That's a good question. Never occurred to
You know
me.
what I
to
mean?
think of it
Because you have like wineskin hammer and then a small sack and then preserve rations and I have spikes, but I only have 2 spikes.
that way. Right.
So could I
4
could I
candles
have
per slot.
I don't know. I think
Okay, I put 4 in my
candles,
pack.
2 candles, 2 spikes?
strictly speaking, I should be mean about it, but I don't know. What do you think, Alex? I should be mean and say no. But
You know what? Actually, you should have been mean about the brass key too. I'm sure that takes up a slot. So I'm gonna put on the mouse mask.
yeah, because like if you find a treasure map, it takes up a slot. Kind of a
Watch
thing.
Kingsley turn into some kind of evil demon or something here.
All right, so yeah, I think the brass key takes up a slot too, I guess.
Or maybe something good
Yeah.
will happen to him with the mouse mask. Maybe he'll like have an extra.
I mean, that
power.
is kind of that is part of the kind of gamey thing about this. It's
Yeah.
Those are gaming masochists.
All right.
Well, it's a little disturbing. I mean,
Yeah. And it would be less challenging if I allowed you to put multiple different types of items into one slot.
maybe your backpack receipt has a tear in it, and so you have to make room for the other stuff by trying to make it avoid the pull, and it's all jumbled in there, and you gotta figure it out.
Yeah, maybe you'll be
Which is taking up a
lucky
slot.
enough to
Let me
lose
ask
something that you
a
don't
couple
really need.
questions. I got a couple questions about this room. First of all, I'm looking around. Are the other drawers to this ornate desk? Do we find them? Do they that fit to the desk? Like, are
Yes,
they-
actually you do. So
Okay, so I put those in the desk so it looks like a complete desk. 'Cause I'm looking at it thinking this is a beautiful.
yeah, it's a very heavy but very ornately carved wooden desk.
I need to get this thing
It's
out of
worth
here.
some money. If you were to get this to market, you could certainly barter or trade for it.
Okay, and then I'm also looking at the linens in the room. Like you said, there's a bunch of linens or something, or like
Yeah, most of it's ruined.
yeah.
Nothing really of any artistic worth or anything like that. Nothing special.
And one more question. You rolled 2 dice. Why'd you roll 2 dice?
I was rolling on the loot tables.
Okay. Well, we only got one thing just now.
I rolled gear, and I rolled light source.
And we
Now,
got
and that was just a bonus. You weren't even supposed to find those candles. Huh?
You're not supposed to question the GM table rules. That's taboo.
No, it's
Well, I
not.
wanted to make sure there wasn't that we didn't find one more thing that he hadn't told us yet or something.
Well, I told you I was rolling random.
You think the GM is jipping us?
I don't know, man. I just,
No, so the significant things you found were the worn brass key, the mouse mask,
Which I wear.
and the candles.
Desk. And a desk.
Which
I donned the
Kingsley
mouse
is.
mask.
Yeah, Breck, you look over and Pingsley's wearing the fucking mask.
All right, man.
Look at me,
All right,
Breck. Ooh, I'm all mousy. Ooh,
You
real
look really
scary.
cute, Kingsley.
Just then you hear
All
a
right,
squeak.
all right, cheese man.
And just then you all hear this squeaking sound coming from back towards the direction of the inn, kind of faintly. That
Ooh.
Oh,
same
Jesus,
kind
that
of.
wasn't me. And I turn around.
No. That same kind of giant, ratty, squeaky, tittering sound. And then
Coming to mate with you, Kingsley.
yeah.
Shut up.
It's the mask of mouse attraction.
Oh
Right.
no, the worst curse of all. All right, let's go. Let's go south.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me look at something here.
Look, man, if I can become the Pied Piper, that would not be. I would not be remiss.
If it's command, if you can command the mice, that's awesome. Horde of giant rats at your command, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, we're just giving
That's
Angie,
first
Angie a
spider.
second here. So yeah, Angie's taking a little break here for a second. But yeah, Lee, I think once we slay the dragon here, Alex is going to GM for us for a while. I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun.
Yeah, me too. That'll be great. I'm totally into that. Yeah, and at some point I'll have to pick up the old GMing.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that'd be great.
I just haven't decided what I want to do, what game I want to.
I mean, this game's great for it, man. It's a lot of the planning for it is really kind of conceptual. It's not like planning for D&D where you're, looking at stats and you're having to balance out like, well, this CR and this, and or should there be 3 trolls or 4 because there's amount of HP here and amount of HP there. And it's very cool. It's easier to plan than.
Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it. It's a great system, and it is different, but it's very satisfying. It's pretty brutal.
But the brutality is kind of a huge part of the fun of it for me. I mean,
Yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
like it.
You earn something, you really earn it, right? So,
Right, exactly.
It just really puts that spin on fantasy gaming where adventurers and heroes are not perfect. Like bad shit.
It's more like, it's more like a Game of Thrones / Deadwood adventuring.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
You got to work
grit,
for.
it's a lot more gritty.
Yeah. Well, just terrible
Gritty.
stuff is just like built right into the rules. Like the game prompts you to make bad things happen. It's great.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure what. I don't know if I want to do D&D or Top Secret or Gamble.
Dude, I've been wanting to play Shadowrun since I was very young. Nobody's ever really. My group just has never been interested in anything but this hardcore fantasy stuff, and I mean, we just haven't had another really interested group in playing anything else. I would love to play Shadowrun or Top Secret or.
I might also do Call of Cthulhu. I don't know.
Call of Cthulhu would be good too.
But maybe in a different setting that we haven't seen before. I'm not sure.
That would be awesome.
I'm
man.
going to take
I
a
encourage you
drink
to do
of
that later.
water and get rid of my hungry and thirsty before we leave this room.
I
Hey.
feel like I need to.
Can I just ask a question? If I drink a little bit out of my skin, does the whole thing go away?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you
Skin
serious?
has
I'm
one-
out of water. I guess on the way out, I'll have to go up to the
She will alleviate your
The
condition.
nursery.
So.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna
Remember,
get
guys, my
that right now.
instinct. Mom. Then again, maybe you could hold off on that. Dad, you need to move the grind up once more.
No, I don't
Research
want
the
to.
room.
If we get into a conflict that says -1 to disposition to any conflict, I'm
That's true.
taking
Yeah,
care of
if
it
you
right
can,
now.
you probably should get rid of it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, but the scout roll didn't count because of Violet's instinct.
No, the scout roll did count because she didn't use her instinct. We were able to help.
All right,
We
so
wanted her not to use her instinct so that we could help her.
okay, so we're going into turn 3. I think you guys said you wanted to go take the southern passage there.
Yes, we would like to take the southern passage if everyone else is in favor of that.
We're still checking for traps and looking at the ceiling, making sure.
Okay.
Question.
So, the passage continues to go down somewhat out of here, out of the loot room. And the wet tang of limestone is even stronger down here. And you come to a fork. The passage kind of splits to the right and to the left. And as you step into this passageway down here, your feet immediately sink about an inch into a wet, clay-like limestone slurry. The corridor is thick with stalactite and stalagmite teeth. And there's just no air movement down here. Everything is very still and very quiet.
Do I see any tracks in the slurry either way?
No, you don't. No. And the slurry is kind of active too. There seems to be kind of a bit of a flow down towards the left to the east. There's kind of water trickling through it.
The left, huh?
We're checking for traps as usual.
Yeah, and there's another branch, Alex, off to the other way too.
Yep.
All right, you want to go the left, the sinister path, or do you want to take the right?
I like the flowing of the left.
So we'll head left.
Yeah.
Okay, down in this direction, right? All right. So the muddy path down here kind of leads up. So Alex, oh. Shit. Hang on. Yeah, Steam was doing something to my Wi-Fi here for some reason. Sometimes if I just reconnect, it works.
And slurry.
Alright.
Tangy limestone slurry sounds like a delicious drink.
Alex, the path kind of winds back to the left. Kind of back up to the north some.
Okay. Meaning like
swinging back up.
Like this?
Yes.
Oh.
And the passage opens up into a very broad, natural cavern-like chamber. In the middle of this room, a great limestone pillar dominates the center of it. And the pillar itself, this gigantic pillar in the middle of the room, seems to have been hollowed out. And it creates sort of a rough hearth and chimney. It looks like you can see the black marks on the stone of the pillar. It looks like someone, probably the kobolds, created like a hearth here in a sort of chimney in the pillar itself. But they're gone. There don't seem to be any kobolds down here.
I think the spider ate them.
You see a lot of signs of kobold activity. Chewed on bones and shit like that. And at one time, a great fire probably would have been blazing in this hearth inside this pillar of rock.
They really like their fires, don't they?
There's also...
Well, they're lizards. They like warmth.
There's also still within the hearth, there's a great iron cauldron sitting right in the midst of it.
Oh, God.
Cauldron.
we're looking again. We're scanning the ceiling very carefully to make sure there's no giant spiders up there.
Okay,
waiting to drop down on us.
there are some dark spots up there, Brock, that you can't quite see into, but no sign of a spider yet. It could be right behind you. You check.
Can you put the
it's
box
not.
on the screen?
Okay. Okay. Let's search this room.
Yeah, we're just looking around. What do we see in here besides
Fellow
that?
travelers.
And there is an exit there, Pingsley, to the north. It seems to continue on to the north a bit.
Very good.
I think our new lair is quite large, I say. So,
Yes, says the spider.
Yeah, I mean, there's some braziers in here, too. They're unlit, so it looks like at one time, you know, recently, there was a lot of activity in here, but no activity now. Searching room...
Can we light the braziers?
You could, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, there's, you know, charcoal and shit in here. There's some wood. Stack of wood. But mostly broken up furniture and stuff.
Yeah, we light the braziers. We light this room up, man. Why not? That way, if we have to retreat back in here, at least there'll be light.
Yeah, we'll note that it's lit then, Alex.
I did.
So Breck lights up the, and it's much, much easier to see in here. Upon inspection, though, I mean, there are, like I said, signs of kobolds. There's prints, and, you know, sign. They had like a little shithole up there in the corner. But they don't seem to be here anymore. One thing you do notice, this chimney within this hearth does lead up into the column, upwards. And it's large, you know, it's about 4 feet in diameter, this chimney. You imagine it probably leads up above ground somewhere.
Interesting.
If in fact they're using it for a chimney, which is what it appears to be.
They might not be using it for a chimney. You know what? Does this place look man-made, this area?
No,
I mean,
it looks completely natural except for the hearth and chimney that's been fashioned out of this pillar in the middle of the room.
Well, I guess that's what I mean, the hearth. Does that look like it was made kind of naturally with, like, claws and stuff? Like,
yeah.
Could it have been made by kobolds, or does it look like it was made by man?
It looks like it was cut out of the stone by the kobolds.
Guess what
It's
could
very
be up
rough.
in there, dude?
It's very rough.
Guess what could be up in there?
A spider?
It's not like stone masonry, you know what I'm saying? They just kind of cut a hole into it, and then it looks like they just cut a chimney up through it.
Dude, we should set the thing on fire, light it up in there, so that if there is a spider up there, it's just gonna fucking be in flames and be burning.
I agree. Let's smoke the spider out if it's in there. Well, then again, if we light that chimney, dude, and and it leads somewhere, that means that we'll be signaling someone.
Let's do this. Let's fill the actual hearth with wood and flammables, right? And then leave it there. And if we need to light it on fire, we can just throw a candle or a lantern on it.
Agreed.
You know, so we'll put some we'll put some charcoal and some wood and stuff in there.
You know what? I'm not so sure that the kobolds use it for a chimney, though, like for cooking. I bet you what they do is they use that for a tunnel. They probably use that for climbing in and out.
Well, the cauldron would indicate that they certainly did use it for cooking. Whatever else they may have used it for.
True, but they probably also used it for a passage. I mean, does it look like there were claw marks on the inside of the actual...
Well, they can't climb
They didn't dig it with claws. It's been dug out with tools, but very roughly. It's not very good workmanship, if that's what you mean. But yeah, the kobolds they did make this.
I mean, does it look like they've been using it to, like, maneuver? Does it look like they've been skittering about?
No sign of that, but Pingsley, certainly even Brack, could climb up into the chimney. It's that big.
Well, let's hold off on that. Let's fill the chimney with let's put it in the hearth. Let's put wood and charcoal in case we need to light it on fire. But let's go check out this other passageway.
You remember that kind of spicy, rich smell of kobold musk?
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming from that northern passageway. It's very distinct. You can smell it up there as you start moving into the tunnel. Ahead of you, you can smell that kobold musk.
All right. This is where
What a
we.
nice
This is
fragrance.
this
Yes.
is where we become sneaky. This is where we need to crouch down and do like our
Check
Navy
check
SEAL
for
signs.
traps. Yeah,
Yeah.
check for traps. You know. Yeah.
All right, we head north, I guess, unless you want to head down the tangy limestone slurry.
I'm pretending that that's Captain Jack barking.
Right.
Hush up, Captain Jack. You might attract the kobolds.
Thank you. Speaking of which, Captain Jack actually does he whimpers a little bit. And you look at him, Violet, and he's got this kind of worried look in his face. He's still wagging his tail's kind of between his legs. You know, he's looking at you and he's whimpering like
Okay.
he's afraid.
Let's head north.
Okay. The passageway opens up into a very large cavern. I mean, your lantern light is not even lighting up the whole thing. It's another room that's just a jungle of stalactites and stalagmites, narrow pillars. As you walk in, you can see some in the distance, some of the pillars in this room, the stalactites and stuff. You can see what appear to be small hammocks, or remnants of small hammocks, kind of slung between many of them. The spicy odor of the kobold musk is very powerful here. And it looks like it was once sort of a living area for many kobolds, but they're no longer here. And any of their belongings and stuff they seem to have taken with them, except for maybe some of these hammocks that are strung up between some of these stalagmites, stalactites.
So it's pretty quiet up in this area?
Yeah. Almost eerily quiet. It certainly seems that the kobolds have recently abandoned this area. Or something. There is an exit from this large chamber, though. It's kind of to the east and south there, Alex. And what it appears to be another very steep, high ridge of natural stone leading up to a passageway up above you. It rises about 15 feet from the floor in the southeastern corner of the room. And there's a steady stream of water kind of trickling down from the edge of the ridge up above. Very steady. It kind of drums onto the ground to where you're standing before you, and it runs off into these little streamlets.
Okay.
Can you walk that, or did you say it goes straight up?
It goes almost straight up, 15 feet. And again, it's that natural kind of contoured, eroded stone. Some of it's real colorful here, too. Like from mineral deposits, there's blue and green looking stone. Red
Can you
and
walk
orange.
up it?
No, you couldn't walk. You'd have to climb it for sure to get up there.
I want to know what's up there. I'm going.
Have we searched this barracks area?
It actually
no, we have not.
it actually goes off to the southeast, Alex. Down at the bottom.
Oh.
No, you haven't searched it, Lee, but I mean, just looking around, there doesn't seem to be much of value. I mean, you could spend some time. You can spend some time to search it if you like. They seem to have taken just about everything with them, though.
I'm gonna go up by myself, up that near cliff thing by myself.
Hold on, before we do that, Violet, do you want to use your instinct to scout the barracks?
That's right.
Yeah, I can do that. I think he said eerily empty, but I'll go ahead and scout it. Thoroughly
We might
search
find
it.
something. I mean, they probably left something behind.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Maybe a note that says, "Spiders, stay away."
Do I have to roll for that?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what you're choosing to do. Yeah.
All right. So my instinct, scout 3. So I roll 3 die. Any help? Or no, it's my instinct. I don't get
What's your
help.
instinct? Yeah,
All right.
I don't think we
It's
should.
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
do it.
it's gonna be ob 2.
I got 1.
That's okay though. Remember, failures are good.
Yeah.
I needed 1 failure. Or no, I'm
Values are good, huh?
Well, okay. Look, failures are, like he said, they count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
I put
count
a
for
check next to my
They
fail.
count for a check.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't I fill another one earlier, scouting?
Here, let me take it over here for a second.
Alex?
Yes, but that was when you increased the stat.
So I don't get a
Oh,
check for that.
shoot. We lost our map.
Well, I got
Sorry.
it.
I'll go back over here.
Is there a way for me to copy all that?
So as you guys are poking around, Breck, you find off in one corner, judging by the smell, this is probably where the kobolds had their little latrine, right? And in the faint lantern light coming from behind you, you could see suddenly several pairs of red eyes reflecting red light from the lantern. There appear to be several large rats over there in that corner, probably about 6 of them.
There's rats over here. Giant rats.
I squeak angrily at them. I mean, I yell angrily at them.
So I turn away from the stair or the climb, and I look back with when I have my draw my bow.
Yeah, they see
if you can control them with your mask.
You seem to have drawn their attention, Breck, and they're kind of scurrying towards you now. The rats about these rats are about the size of like a beagle. You know, they're not huge, but yeah.
Right.
I attempt to speak rat and command them to leave.
All right, so Pingsley, you run over with your lantern, and start screaming. What are you screaming? Just leave?
In rat, yes.
What the
In
heck?
rat.
How can you do that? You have rat tongue or what?
Maybe.
Right. The rats seem to kind of draw back away from Pingsley's light and his lantern, and they kind of begin scurrying off. You see one of them pop into this hole in the wall, and the others scurry off a little further away, off into the darkness.
My lord.
Oh, really?
I turned to Breck.
Like, damn. I like. Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Breck's like, what the hell? And Pingsley's like, I spoke rat.
Good job.
Wow, nice job.
Yeah.
So that mask may have some effect.
That mask, I think, freaked them out a little bit. Like, you must have been like, Master Rat, obey me.
Huh. I didn't know I could do that. Well,
It's very interesting. See if you can call them. See if you can call them back.
No, I don't want to do that.
Really?
Tell them to sit.
I'm fine right now with just keeping them away. We'll see what I can do with this thing later.
Wow.
At the next
Master of Rats.
encounter. Okay.
Hey, I got good news. I'm looking at my skills.
If we get attacked, if we get attacked, don't be afraid to call the rats.
Yeah, right. You might be able to help. We might have a rat army behind us, huh, that helps us.
Call the rats.
Don't be afraid to call the rats, man. If we get attacked, like focus on the mask and be like, "Ye giant rats."
I was just thinking we might just be getting ready to fight them, and so I'm looking at my fighter, and I have 3 passes, and I have a 3 fighter and 1 fail. So shouldn't I take those checks off and make it a 4 fighter?
Nope, you need 1 more fail for fighter.
Oh, right. 1 more fail. You're right. Okay.
Right. That's right. All right.
Well, I'm getting there. That's good.
You
The
are
checks are
getting
getting put in. This is good. All right. Okay, well, I am going to be a loner and go up the sheer climb. I'm going to start... How am I going to get up there, though?
Well, judging by the looks of it, it's going to take some effort. Some rope, for sure. Do you have any rope? Or some spikes might work, but...
I have 2 spikes.
So what we're looking at here, folks, is essentially a
Start,
dungeoneer,
right?
a dungeoneer test to ascend this ridge.
Oh, I don't have that.
It's okay.
I
Dungeoneer is
think,
based on health,
Oh.
so
I
and
got a
or
4 health, man. I'm pretty healthy. I can get up there.
let's have Breck do that, man. I mean, Breck, do you have any Dungeoneer points?
I don't. I do have a 5 health, but
That's fine then,
Oh.
because beginner's luck is going to be super useful then. I mean, if we can manage to get that 1 point in Dungeoneer on one of us, that will be super duper useful.
it is something to work towards. Getting that dungeoneer skill. It's going to come in handy in your.
That's true,
in-
but should I
in
use
the
my
life.
loner, though? My trait?
I
And
mean,
do
if
something
you feel like-
crazy so I can get another check if I do that.
If you feel like failing. I mean, do we really
Oh.
need to go up the sheer climb?
Well, I mean, I have a... Well, like, what's the ob if I tried to do that?
For an individual, it's an OB3 dungeoneer test.
Ew, yeah.
It's OB4 to get 2 adventures
think-
up there. OB5 to get the whole party up there all at once. Or you can each individually take Dungeoneer 3 tests. That would take 3 turns, though.
I
Ooh.
think the better way to do would be to have one person succeed and then spike a rope, right?
I agree, absolutely.
Then they could climb. Doesn't that make sense or not?
Yes,
Yeah. So
for sure.
So either me or Violet actually just go up there and try to succeed.
Well, you might
No,
succeed
and
better
then-
if you have a higher health. That's the other thing.
Yeah, Breck, I think you should do it.
If you don't mind going, just peeking up
No,
there and see
not
what
at
the
all.
heck's up there. Because I don't want to leave anything unturned. You know what I mean? I want to know what's.
Give me. I'm gonna have to drop something.
Also, keep in mind that Dungeoneer, the skill, several types of different skills can help Dungeoneer because it's a, it's a
Oh,
wide
yeah.
range of skills that help. It's survivalist, scout, laborer, and criminal,
Oh, dude, I got a 3 scout.
and any
So-
any tools or supplies as well. Like rope could help, spikes could help.
So I
Grappling
have.
hook.
So I have 5.
And I can help you. I can help with the health.
I have spikes. Someone have a rope.
We do not.
I have.
But that's okay though, because I mean, I don't know. Do we? I have 6 more iron spikes. I'll just give you those.
You have 6 spikes. Okay, so cool. So we have a total of 8 spikes, man. So I have the hammer all. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
So
So a few
then-
of those could be used, like 3 spikes could be used for an extra die, I would say.
Okay.
Does he have to do like a laborer roll or something for that?
7.
Well, he's making a health test. He's resorting to health because he doesn't have.
And you said you
Dungeoneering.
have how many, Breck? How many spikes?
I have 2. You
Awesome.
have 6.
Yeah. So I'll just go down 1 and give you 1. So that way we can clear up a slot, and I still have 5 more.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so Breck's health, we're gonna have this because it's a beginner's luck test. So Breck, I think your health is 5, right?
Yep.
We have that to
Yep.
2.
And
So
then-
the spikes would be +1 dice.
Right.
And then how are Pingsley and Violet helping here?
I can give him some scout help.
That's 1.
How does that look like though, Ange? What are you doing
Well-
to help Breck get up? the
She's
wall?
What do
pointing
you
out the
have to
best
do?
route.
Let's see. So Dungeoneer is criminal, laborer, scout, or survival. Oh, I have survivalist too. I mean, you only get 1 die for either one, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna help with scavenger. See if anything in this area. This is the see if anything in this area can be used, like breaking apart some of those hammocks, maybe making. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a scavenger. I'm gonna take some of those hammocks. I'm gonna kind of wrap them up into bundles and make those into makeshift ropes.
Mm.
And so that's how I'll help.
Well, I'm
Sounds
actually
good.
helping with survivalist just by helping him like with how to put the, where to put the spikes and stuff like that to make sure he can get up there. So I'm just like kind of guiding him, like I would put it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
She's pointing out the best route.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she probably has some experience doing this kind of stuff. She is over 100 years old. All right, so that's another one. That's 4, and that's 5. So that's 5 dice, Lee. It's an OB3 test. At this point, you could also use a trait to help yourself with a die.
Or trade against yourself to lose a die and get it checked.
I'll actually use a trait to help myself, and I'll use quick-witted.
Nice.
Or, and check this out, you could use a relevant wise. Breck is criminal wise. Climbing sheer surfaces is part of like the criminal intent, right?
It's true.
Oh,
You could
nice.
use your wise with either a fate or a persona for the test. And what if you used a wise with a fate, you get to re-roll 1 failed die. If you used a wise with a persona, you get to re-roll all failed dice.
Okay,
Ooh,
and would that also include the
So what I'm saying is
would that include my using the trait?
Well, that's what
my
I'm thinking
trait?
of.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Alex. I think that is one of the exceptions to that, is you can't use a trait for it if you use a wise, or am I wrong?
Okay, so I'll use a wise, and I'll burn I'll burn 1 persona to be able to re-roll.
Yeah, let me just double check. It'll just take a second here.
This is using fate, correct? Fate.
It'd be using persona if he's going to re-roll.
What it is? No, you can use a trait, okay, as well as using a fate or persona afterwards. But I think you can't continue spending once you've spent a persona or a fate with your wise. You can't use fate to re-roll 6s. That's the rule. That's what it is.
Okay,
So either you can re-roll your 6s, you can use a fate to re-roll 1 failure, or you can use a wise to re-roll with a persona to re-roll all failures. You can't do them all, you know.
Okay, so I'll use the persona
For re-rolls, yeah.
And then that'll give me a total of 6 dice, correct?
Do you have to declare that you use the persona before the roll?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you don't have to use the persona.
Yeah, re-rolls
now
of
then.
failures
Probably
are
would
after the
succeed
roll.
right off the bat.
So I believe it's 6, correct?
I think that's right. So it's 3 for Breck's, or 2 for Breck's health, 1 for the spikes, 1 for Pingsley, 1 for Violet. That's 5 plus the trait is 6. What's the trait that you're using?
6.
Quick-witted? Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is 6.
Okay. So just roll the 6, and then maybe we might have to use the persona, maybe not.
So Breck realizes that actually the correct route, Violet, is the route that actually has natural footholds. Look at that.
Ooh,
got just
but
what
Brett,
you
you rolled 2. You rolled 2. Oh, wait, it's top 3. Awesome. Okay, cool.
made it. Yeah.
I did roll 2 6s, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
But you succeeded, so we're good.
You don't even have to use anything else.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. So mark the spikes, and Breck manages to get up to the top of the wall there, and up top, Breck, there's a wide cavern that leads back behind you into the darkness. Also, again, more kind of descending down into the darkness behind you now. And then it actually very abruptly begins rising at a much more steep angle behind you. So it looks like this is not the end of the climb. It's not a 90-degree angle like a sheer surface. It looks like you'd be able to get up it, maybe on your hands and knees though. So Breck's at the top there.
I'll fashion a rope via Kingsley's hammock rope. I'll fashion a rope and lower it down to those guys so they can come up to this level.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. So it's gonna be the same kind of thing, guys. It's a health test. Who's gonna go first?
Well, hold on. Do we not? Okay.
This could be tense.
Oh shit.
Okay, don't they get the advantage of having the rope when that?
Yeah.
That could
Well,
go.
first of
Yeah.
all,
We'll give them the extra dice for that. Sure.
Dad, can you give us control of the grind
Why?
so that I can move the grind up? We just went up a grind.
No, I can do it.
Plus,
So
our
who's going
light
first?
just went out.
Okay, and we can't get help for this, right? It's just our health +1 for the rope, right?
Yeah, you're going to get +1 health for the rope. +1. And since Kingsley notoriously mentioned the scavenger, I thought that was a good idea. So I will allow that extra dice for the makeshift rope that you didn't have before. You get 1 for the rope, 1 for the spikes.
Then I can help both of them.
And then +2 helpers, Angie. So you're getting +4 dice. And you're going to make a health test. It's a beginner's luck test. So you half your health.
It's 8 dice.
It's health halved plus help plus
6.
skills.
Right?
Yeah.
Your health halved is 2.
I have a 4 health, so it's 2.
Okay, so it's 2
plus help. 6.
Yeah, so
6.
yeah, okay.
So it's essentially the same thing. It's 6 dice. 3 successes.
I got 3. Or 4 successes.
There you go.
Violet makes it. So now we're counting on you, Pingsley.
Come on, Pingsley.
The grind. Well,
so,
hold on.
So here's the situation. Oh, yeah, hold on. Here's the situation. So that's turn 4. The lantern goes out at this point, unless you light the lantern.
The lantern was already out, which I was just about
at the end of that turn, actually.
Well, he's relighting it.
I've been keeping track. Our light went out when Brett got to the top.
Well, you have 3 turns of light from a lantern.
Yeah, I know. Right. That was Brett got to the top on the 3rd, so that was.
The light didn't go out until the end of the 3rd.
Oh, the lantern space actually counts?
No. Count the spaces on the grind. 1, 2, 3. You had 3 turns of lantern light, so now is when you'd relight it. At the beginning of turn 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so now we're counting on you, Pingsley, for your Dungeoneer roll.
Good.
By the way, guys, add Dungeoneer as a skill to your sheet.
What? Really?
You don't have any skill rating in it, but you've made 1 pass.
Check near it.
That's beginner's luck. Yep. Once you get a number of passes and failures equal to your nature rating, your max nature rating, you get that skill at 2.
All right, my last flask of oil's out.
Uh-oh. Okay. Last flask of oil goes into the lantern, says Pingsley.
I have oil. No worries.
Good.
I've got oil.
Okay. Awesome.
Says.
Can I have that oil? Toss it down?
Well, why don't you come up and I'll give
Toss it down, he says.
Why don't you come up and I'll give it to you when you get up here. Come on.
Fine. I will. Okay.
For 1 split second, Pingsley considers making the climb in darkness. And then decides against it.
I mean, it's not that bad of an idea, honestly. What is that, -1 die?
No, it would make it ob 4 instead of ob 3.
It's
a fact.
Don't do that.
That's a bad idea. Okay.
I can lower a flask down to you.
2.
I won't throw it at you.
1, 3.
Flask down to you.
5. So I have 5. I dare add my nature.
You get +4 total for supplies and help.
Yep.
And I guess it's obvious how everybody's helping. Don't fuck up this time, Pingsley. You just healed your broken leg.
I'm gonna use a persona.
Just so you have to roll again.
to
add a dice.
I have only one. I'd only have 1 for health-based stuff here.
All right. So it's 5
Actually,
dice
I'm not.
you get.
No. If I fail, I'm in a pretty good place because then my health goes up.
Don't fail, dude. You'll be stuck down there alone.
All right, I'll try it with 5 dice. We'll see how that goes.
Ob 3.
Oh my lord!
What? You succeeded on every die!
Cow! Pingsley jumps up there like a champ.
Please, with a lantern in his hand, and he did it one-handed.
No, with a lantern in his teeth.
Oh.
You may call me the mousy Aladdin.
All right.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
So Pingsley gets up to the top and kind of brushes himself off. And he's like, no problem.
What's up here? What's up here?
It is a cavern leading into the darkness at a very steep upslope. There's water trickling down this sort of slide, really, it appears to be. It's very smooth, eroded by water, and it's like a
what
it's
about
like
the dog?
all the rocks are like in rainbow. It's like all the rocks are in rainbow colors.
You hear that faint? I'm sorry to interrupt, but you hear that faint sound of a dog barking in the distance? What about the dog?
That's the dog.
The dog is still down there.
No.
It's no big deal to.
He's with us. We haul him up.
Yeah, to winch him up there, man. No big deal. He doesn't like
I'm
it
glad
very
your
much.
dog's barking. It keeps reminding us we do have a dog with us.
Yeah, he doesn't like it very much, but he gets over it. So it's a slide sort of leading up, though. You guys are kind of at the bottom of it. These rainbow-colored rocks leading up into the darkness. It's the rainbow shaft. Looks like you'd have to crawl up there on your hands and knees, though. It looks pretty slippery.
Yeah, I'm gonna run this crazy dog outside for a second. You guys,
No problem.
choose wisely for us.
Okay.
Right.
Let's do this. Let's go up. Will that cost anything?
Oh, well,
What?
Kingsley, we need to take the turn here for your climb here, okay?
Are
I
you
got it.
Yes.
telling me we have not gone up the
wait.
rainbow shaft
Hold on,
yet?
guys. Hold on. Wait, the grind. We're all hungry and thirsty.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. You all earn the hungry and thirsty condition. Violet, since you already have it, you earn exhausted.
No, I already drank that off. It's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
she drank it off. Let's camp.
Good call.
Yeah,
Camping
because that would have
here,
been
eh?
something else.
Camping at the Rainbow Tunnel.
Yes, let's
Or
camp
what?
in the Rainbow Tunnel.
Agreed.
Because then Mon has one check, which is exactly what we need for me to make that cook check and cook for everybody.
All right, let me put hungry and thirsty on you guys here.
Camping in a freaking rainbow shaft.
So here we go. First time camping in the dungeon, right?
Talk about safe. That must look like a safe place.
It does. I mean, we'll know what's going on, man.
So
Nobody
like-
can see us.
So again, here in the last, turn of the adventure phase before camp, somebody can make a survivalist check to try to help keep the camp more safe. It would
I can
prevent
do that.
disaster, in effect,
Yeah.
on
I
the
got
camp
2
events
dice.
roll.
If Mom the Ranger had taken the other thing, then she would have gotten +1 dice, and I think we always have. It was some pretty cool ability, but she took the spell. So that's kind of boo. Anyways, yeah. Mom, why don't you make that check? You're a ranger.
Well, I have the survivalist skill, but I need somebody to help me with Hunter.
I will help with Hunter. I'm very good at mushroom foraging, which is why I'm assuming I have Hunter.
And I think Breck has Hunter too, because he has a skinning knife, right?
Yeah.
Skinny knife. Yeah, I mean, this looks like
I assume
Yeah.
he's helping.
you would assume that there have to be mushrooms growing around here somewhere. It's like
So you have to roll-
ideal environment.
Anything else that would help me? I think that's 4 dice.
That's it.
I'll give you guys a little bit of a break on this. It's just going to be ob 1 Ange for the survivalist test. This actually looks like a pretty good place to camp.
I would say so.
There's no
That's about
access to one side, and the other side just appears to be this tunnel leading steeply up away from you.
Yeah, nobody can see us or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 3 successes.
Beautiful.
So we are not hungry and thirsty anymore, right?
Well, that advances the grind with no real effect. You get to remember to put a check mark next to pass for survivalist.
Oh yeah.
And now we roll on the camp events table.
I got 3 passes on that already.
This is going to be for a typical underground camp, as opposed to an unsafe or dangerous underground camp. Oh. A minor break. Something good happens to you guys.
Oh my god.
We find those mushrooms we were looking for.
Yes, and they're worth a lot of money.
Golden mushrooms.
Kingsley finds a brace of golden mushrooms.
What? Wait.
Yes,
Oh,
edible
what?
fungi. edible fungi stretches your food supply. You get +1 dice to cook tests for this camp phase.
Holy cow, we are the best. Oh my god.
So Pingsley actually did randomly find mushrooms.
That's a joke, right? You made that up.
No.
I'm the best.
No.
I'm the best.
I rolled 11, which is a minor break, and I rolled a 2 on the natural cave minor break table. And number 2 is edible fungi stretches your food supply.
That's insane.
So like I drank. So yeah. So like I turned to Violet as we're scouting. I sarcastically am like, you know, what if we find mushrooms? I'm sure that'll go a long way. Ha ha ha. Then we find a huge bunch of mushrooms.
And I'm like, oh my god, Pingsley, your wishes come true. Look.
I look at her and I say, this mask. I think I could smell them.
And they are lovely fragrant mushrooms as well.
What? Fragrant mushrooms? What the hell?
Oh my gosh, did you miss all that? Oh my gosh. Check this out.
Yeah.
Alex said, you know, hey, maybe I'll find some mushrooms. I'm going to roll to see, you know, this. And he rolled, and sure enough, Sean rolled a 2, which was mushrooms. It was like a total fluke.
Oh.
So I actually found mushrooms foraging for freaking mushrooms. That's awesome.
All right, so there's +1 dice to cook test in this camp phase. So now we're in camp.
May I have your check, please?
Yes, you
Violet?
may. Yes.
Excellent.
Is it going to be my fail check next to Will?
No. It's
Where
no.
is it?
What? No, it's the
Where
the used against check on by loner or whatever.
So we've got
Oh yeah,
one check.
you can have that. Okay, got it.
And how many?
I took it
That's
off.
all we have total, right? One check.
I
Yeah.
believe.
Perfect. All right, then I'm gonna use that one check to make food for everybody.
All right. You know what that entails, right?
I believe so. I'm sorry. Remind me just to be sure.
I got you. All right, so cook factors. So you prepare a meal from fresh rations and fish. So the mushrooms would count as fresh rations, essentially.
Great.
It's OB1. Let's see.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Dad. That's technically not true. The I am cooking preserved rations. It's just that the mushrooms count as, I guess, tools. They give me +1 die. That's what it says on the table, right?
Oh, that is true. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so preserved rations is OB2. And for the amount of meals, if it's the whole party, it's an OB1, so that's 3. It would be an OB3 test.
Cool.
To feed the whole party.
Okay. OB3, I have cook 4 +1 for mushrooms. What helps cook?
Yeah, we've never done this yet, have we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah,
you did.
I just can't remember.
Oh, alchemist or laborer, it says. So I have. Oh. I don't know.
By the way, guys, alchemist is a super, super good skill to have. It helps so many things.
I don't have that. I don't have either one of those, sorry.
Okay, Breck, do you have labor?
Well, I do have 2 passes and 2 fails. I only have a 4 nature. Does that mean I have a 2 labor?
Not yet. Well, what's your max nature leave? 4, right?
Yeah, it has to be your nature rating.
So when you get 4 tests, whether they're pass or fail with that labor beginner's luck test, once you get 4 checks there, you'll get the laborer skill at 2 at a rank of 2. Once you get 4.
Well then he has it.
Does he?
Oh, one more.
I know he's close.
No, yeah, just one more. Just one more. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have either
Okay,
one of
got it.
those? The
Okay.
No,
That's fine. In that case, I will use my. Let's see. Oh, you know what? This is great. Let me go back to using. Sorry, 1 second. Where's the rewards thing? I need to see what I can do with fate again.
It's called rewards. It's on the list there.
Rules and magic.
No, it's right in the journal, the main journal, and all the red handouts down there. It's listed as rewards.
Ah, there it is. Yes, thank you.
It says
Okay,
cooks can use
so
supplies from hunters, pheasants, and scavengers.
Could I give him
which
some
is
of my
what I
preserved
did.
rations? Would that help him if I gave him the preserved
Nah, I'm
rations?
just cooking
Well,
the one preserved ration.
we're already assuming we're just using the rations actually to cook from.
You can spend up to 3 persona points on a
Gotcha.
single roll. Each die. Okay, by spending a persona point, you add your name. Spend your persona point to reroll related to your wise. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So I do have obviously relevant wises here. So we'll see what happens here. I may have to use a persona. I may not. 5 dice total? 5. And it was op 3, you said?
Yep. The preserved
Okay.
rations was 2 factors, and the whole party was another factor for Ob 3.
Then I'm going to go ahead and use a persona point to reroll my failed dice because it is related to my wise. I yell, aha! And needs a little salt wise. That's why.
That's why, yes. Awesome, so you get to roll 3 more dice for your 3 failures.
There we go.
Boom. Alright. So that feeds the whole party. Breck and
It
Paisley
does.
can remove their hungry and thirsty conditions. And Paisley,
Violet as well. Violet gained it during the grind.
Paisley gets advancement for cook.
Yay!
I think that was the only check we had, right?
Yep, that was it. So now we can reset the grind and
Right back into the adventure phase.
begin anew. Oh shoot, wait, did we waste our oil then?
No.
Oh,
still be
okay, our
up
light
to.
sources stay. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
The game's not that mean. You don't lose. You don't lose unused oil, I guess.
That's good.
All right, so are we going up the rainbow shaft? Is that where we're going?
We are going up the rainbow shaft.
Is that a derogatory term? It sounds like it is. I don't know.
Oh, it sounds like some sort of maybe a part of the event at like the Electric Daisy Carnival or something. You know, it's like, oh,
Yes.
time for you to take the rainbow ladder, baby.
Yes. The rainbow to heaven.
Daisy.
All right, so I'm not sure if this will require a test. If you just kind of go slowly on your hands and knees. Let's see here. It's a steep, curving corridor, slick with water. And honestly, I think it's going to be another Dungeoneer test, but it's going to be easier this time.
Awesome.
Give you guys a chance to maybe make some tests. Hopefully you guys can make it. It would be an Ob 3 test for 2 adventures at a time, or an Ob 4 test for the whole party. Only Ob 2 this time for an individual. Does that make sense?
Individual stuff, right?
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier probably.
Yeah, you'll
Let's
crank
just
out
do,
some turns in the grind, but it will be easier.
I don't know, man. I think we should just do the one, man.
That means
Well,
I mean the most I'd be able to do would be I'd only be able to roll 6 die. Like Ob 4, that's pretty rough. Otherwise, we'd be rolling Ob 2, and we'd each be able to roll 6.
By the way,
Yeah, we better do it
way,
individually.
technically, you guys have a makeshift rope that you guys made. We'll just say that you made it, okay?
Yeah.
That will take some
Okay.
slots for carrying, just like a regular rope. It's either two pack slots or 1 torso slot for the makeshift
I'll take the
rope.
torso slot.
Okay. So Pingsley still has the makeshift rope. That will help. That'll give you a dice. Use more spikes, I suppose. That would certainly apply for another die.
Oh yeah.
If we use the spikes, does that apply for each of our journeys or only the one?
Well, spikes are used when they're used, I think. Is the case.
Meaning,
How many spike?
Well, for this, it's going to be more than before. I think you'd have to use them all.
all 5, okay. But everybody would get the bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're there for our retreat.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do it.
Cool. So with the tools and supplies from those two things, that's plus 2 dice for anybody that's rolling. It's not including help. Remember, Dungeoneering is based on health, so it's a beginner's luck test for anybody who's rolling. You'll take half of your health, and then add any help or tools.
And so it would be 2 for help, 2 for tools. So it's basically plus 4, half your health.
Yep, plus 4.
Again.
I'll go first. It's a 6 for me. Ob 2. No problem. I made it up the rainbow shaft. No problem.
There we go. We're on a roll.
Okay.
Make sure
Pingsley. It's always up to you, Pingsley, if you're going to make it up.
Make sure you check your boxes for advancement,
He's got
guys.
that mask on. It seems to be helping him a lot today.
Check your boxes for Dungeoneer advancement in your beginner's luck test here. This is what you guys want to be doing, is trying to get that Dungeoneering skill. That would be great.
Yeah, so I passed that again, so I'm checking it.
I get 5 dice again.
One less for the Hobbit.
Oh
Oh my god!
No.
Oh
way.
my lord!
That's twice. You did
Holy
that.
crap!
How could
Bum
you do
leg
that
is not
twice?
hindering him. He's
Paisley.
dancing up the spikes.
It's
Paisley's-
not
the
bummed
mic, it's the
anymore,
mask.
baby!
Something's up with that mask. It's
I
helping
think
you totally.
Paisley just has a knack
Yeah,
for
chill.
climbing, I guess.
Mouse.
It was the mushrooms.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent.
Wow.
So it
Wonder
takes
where
some
we're headed.
it takes some time though. That was 3 turns. Jink, jink, jink. That would eat up the 2 in your lantern. So now we're in darkness again, folks. What are we looking at for light sources here?
Have another use of oil.
Okay, and so I'll just mark down I'll take your last oil flask then.
Also, everyone earns hungry and thirsty from the grind.
What?
Believe it or not, we should be at 3? Yeah, we're at 3.
Yeah, we're
sorry.
at 3.
Not yet.
And I refill the lantern.
Not yet, right? On the hungry thirsty?
Right, not yet.
Okay.
We need to get one more check, fellas.
So we're this kind of steep curving corridor that was slick with water, the rainbow shaft. It levels out towards the top. And before you is a humongous crevice or a chasm. It's very dark in here. If it weren't for your lantern, it would just be pitch dark. It's very cold. Put your light sources out there, Alex, so I know what your light sources are.
Well, we have the lantern.
Okay.
It's lit.
Before you is this chasm. It looks like it's about 16 to 18 feet across.
Dang.
And you can see, there's another section of the cave across from the chasm from you. And there appears to be a dark pool of water, very large dark pool of water over there on the other side of the chasm.
I say stay back. I'm going to sneak along the side of this chasm.
Whoa!
Whoa, wait.
You come
After we check for traps.
You, Violet, as you're kind of sneaking forward while, Pingsley's getting his light source situated, trying to get good light in here, because it is very dark. You kind of creep off to the edge of the darkness there,
Mm-hmm.
and you begin to see these kind of sticky webs on the wall. You see a very tight passageway. It's almost like a crack in the wall, leading back into this very narrow shaft, and it's covered with sticky webs.
Ooh, boy.
Go back there.
In Violet, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you feel as if something is watching you, and deep down, you know that you're the prey.
Okay, well, I remain very calm as I walk closer
no.
with my bow.
And Pingsley's
no.
Pingsley says really loud at that point, "Man, those mushrooms are really good."
What?
Do I get a
they
check?
were, though.
Pingsley's talking about mushrooms as you come back to them. Yeah.
Do I get a check for being a loner and calm? I'm trying to get a check.
Violet, Violet,
Like
Violet,
right in the
do
middle of
not cross the chasm, Violet. Are you insane? We need to get, what? No, we go back. We should go back. I don't know. What do you think, Breck?
We need to pause here. I mean, this is definitely the spider lair.
Well,
Spiders.
look, there's one
I look
spider
back
there
at
or
you guys
more.
and I'm like, you know.
That if you do that, we lose our map. You know.
Are we gonna stop at? Oh, great. Are we
Already updated.
gonna stop at 6?
Yeah, we lost our map for a reason, Alex.
Yeah, this is a good
Are
stopping
we
point.
stopping at 6?
It is a good stopping point, Leah. We're going to stop here.
Okay.
But yeah, this just webs just kind of thickly shroud this not readily apparent corridor in the darkness over there from this chasm room. And looking into the crack in the wall, the webs get thicker and thicker back there. It's very high.
Oh, no.
It's like a gigantic crack in the wall leading up as far as you can see.
You know how many spiders are gonna be back there, man?
Probably just the big mamma jamma one that we fought before.
But where there's one, there's more, man.
Hopefully there's just
Spiders-
the eggs. We can destroy.
Spiders breed in the hundreds.
Not the big ones necessarily. Let's hope not. In the hundreds. Oh my god.
And again, Breck, the ceiling here is too high for you to see. And you too, of course, deep down, you feel something is watching you in here as Violet points out this crack in the wall. And you know that you are the prey.
Of my head and my sword sticking right next up to it,
So before we stop, there is one thing that I wanted to point out. Like right now, Breck would be that time to use that instinct that you had. I don't know if you still have it.
I do. To determine strength and weaknesses of my enemies. Yeah.
I mean, you could advance the grind to do that. It would take a turn, which would be turn 4 to give everybody.
Instinct.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, instinct. Yeah. Yeah. So I do that.
Instinct, it wouldn't. Yeah.
Maybe see what you know about spiders, right? So it's in the hunter ability and skill factors here, I believe.
But then again, maybe they're just normal-sized spiders. I mean, have you seen the webs that those Australian spiders can weave, where there's entire forests just covered in a canopy of webs, and they're not that huge. They're big, but they're not that big. You know what I mean?
Wish we were in Australia.
Well, I'm sure Breck, because I think Breck's specialty is pathfinding, if I'm not mistaken. So Breck has done traveling, man. He's got a lot of broad knowledge about, not only hunting, but of just wildlife and creatures, and he's probably had some minor adventures before. So it says hunters can find information about a beast, where it likes to eat, what it eats, what its weapons are, and more specifically, in which types of conflicts it's most dangerous. So let's see. It'll also give you the aspects of the creature's nature too, which is very, very helpful. So we're going to make a versus test between your hunter skill and the creature's nature. The creature's nature is 5.
Anything I can add to my hunter skill?
Works just like any other test. You just have to look and see what helps hunter here. Labor and survivalist help hunter. You know what? And this is kind of cool.
It's an instinct.
Captain Jack has hunting as one of his nature descriptors, so Captain Jack can help.
Oh, there you go.
But does he have an instinct related to this?
Oh, that is true. It is an instinct-based thing that we're doing here.
Well, everything Captain Jack does is instinct-based, so I'd say that would...
Yeah, I almost think... this is a knowledge-based thing, though, Lee. It is knowledge-based, I don't know if Captain Jack...
I got you. No, that's true.
Speaks common
that makes
very
sense,
well.
man. Right. Yeah.
So can we help if he's using his instinct?
I speak Basset Hound. Damn it.
No, so you know that's
Well,
the
Rocky,
thing.
determined by the thickness of the webs, I would say that the spider is about this big.
You could choose to not use your instinct in this case and just advance the grind by a turn and get help that way. But we're still looking at Ob 5, the best that Brett could do with a Hunter, was it Hunter 4 or 3?
I could get I guess I could get a check or a fail.
That's right. And you'd get, I believe, does Violet have Survivalist? Or Hunter?
I do.
Kingsley?
I have survivalist.
Or a Wise?
Well, I mean, I don't think we should do that because this is going to tick on the grind. And if we tick on the grind right now, bad stuff happens.
It will give you all hungry and thirsty.
All right, never mind. We're not doing that.
Okay. It's an option, but yeah, maybe Breck doesn't know too much about giant spiders after all.
I would determine that I would still do it though. I mean, the worst that can happen is like, I don't know, Dad determines a twist, or maybe you just get a condition, which would be fine. And if we do just get a condition, then we can book it. If there is a twist, then I would imagine it's probably going to be the spiders attacking us, which isn't that bad because we're not hungry and thirsty. So, I mean, all in all, it's not a terrible idea.
I'll contemplate. You know, we'll decide what we do now. Let me think about it, and I'll.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, excellent.
All right. Are we all done?
We should do into session
Very
rewards. I mean,
successful.
we did play for 3 hours today, so I mean, well, I guess 2.5, right?
All right, let's do it real quick.
Yeah, we did the city last time.
Anybody act on their belief this session?
Yes, I think I hit on all cylinders, man.
belief?
My belief, the strength of my friends makes up for my cowardice mostly. So, I mean, I think that kind of ties into my goal a little bit too. This session my goal was like to prove myself and my valor and my bravery because I was
You did, yeah. Once you got that mask, you just started came out of your shell, didn't you?
You know, the strength of my friends makes up for my cowardice. So, you know, I tried to be very bold and, you know, show my friends that I'm not worthless.
Dude, you walked right up to the rats and said, "Get out of here." That's pretty bold.
Okay, you get a fate for that if you acted on your belief. If you worked towards your goal but did not accomplish it, you gain a fate.
Yes, I think I got my goal.
That does not include accomplishing your goal. If you accomplished your goal, you don't get that fate. But if you work towards it, you do. Okay?
I get a fate, I think, because it was to find something of value. We did. I remember.
That's accomplishing the goal, not working towards it.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying, Ange? You actually accomplished your goal, I think. Right?
Yeah, I don't get nothing for that.
Or
you will. It's just not a fate.
Oh.
And playing your instinct to the benefit of your party earns a fate. So that's another benefit of doing something like that, Lee, is you get a fate point for it at the end of the session.
I used my instinct.
You did in the camp phase to cook.
Yes. Wait, if I use my instinct, that doesn't take a check, right?
No, it does take a check. Or no.
If I use my instinct? No, it doesn't.
Take...
So, oh, I'm sorry. Can we really quick rewind and make a map of the caves so far? Attempt to make a cartographer check.
That's a cartographer check. Yeah, go ahead real quick.
Okay, cool. Let me just do that. What's help for cartographer?
Is it beginner's
Yeah, it's
luck,
beginner's luck. Yeah. So 5 divided by 2, that's going to be 2 plus help. Does anybody have help for that? I think Mom has Arcana. I don't know. What is it? It's help for help.
For cartographer?
Scholar Pathfinder.
Violet has Scholar.
I got Scholar.
Right. I can help, yeah.
And Breck specializes
cool,
in Pathfinder.
4. So then I have 4 dice, and I'm going to use a fate. That'd be 5.
The factor is moderate-sized area, half a level, so it's about Ob 2 cartographer test so far.
Oh, in that case, I'm actually going to use I can't. Can I use tests against myself for the next camp?
You can't earn checks in camp.
You can't.
No.
Okay. Then in that case, I am going to use my fate.
Okay. To cartographer test. So what this is going to do, guys, is Pingsley will have a map of everything up to what you've explored. So you can now jump around the map at will. You can go from one area to another without any time passing and no tests required.
Whoa.
Cool. 2 successes.
Like teleporting?
Yes.
Whoa.
And it takes, and so the map, Alex, is going to take a slot that you've made.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep. Got it.
And I think you got a fate point for cooking in camp. So now we're going to award persona. If you play against your belief in a dramatic fashion, you earn a persona. If you accomplished your goal, you earn a persona.
Wait, what was the last thing you said before the
If
goal?
you play against your belief in a dramatic fashion.
Well, I didn't really protect anybody. Does that mean I played against it?
I don't remember you saying that you were playing against your belief. I mean, you should kind of
No.
mention it, that my
Yeah, I don't
belief
think
is
I
this
did.
and this. Okay. If you accomplish your goal, you get a persona, though.
I accomplished my goal. I will make up for my previous cowardice and show my worth to Breck and Violet.
I'll buy it. Pingsley had a good-
Secure more valuables. I think we did that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Shit, even candles count as valuables in this game.
Yeah. Oil.
In the mouse mask,
For sure, the mouse mask.
for sure. All right, so
And Mom,
everybody sounds like everybody got a persona for that, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
So now we award a persona to the chosen most valuable player, the player who really came through for everyone or had a moment of glory during the session.
Wait, can we back up 1 second? What about instinct?
If you played your instinct to the benefit of your party, you earn a fate. I believe
think I
Violet
got
did that
that.
too. Yep. So MVP, the moment of glory, or someone who really came through with the great rolls.
Can I nominate myself for that? I mean, I roared at those rats. I thought that was really cool. I got those awesome Dungeoneer checks. I made the rope.
I'm good. I'll let you guys decide who the MVP is.
You also had like the 2 max dice rolls, man, where you had
Yeah.
5 dice and you rolled 5 successes twice.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
And the
you
really-
should get a pink.
Yeah, and the really worrying thing for me when that whole climbing thing up there was that Pingsley was the last to roll. So I was almost expecting like, oh, Violet made it, kind of no problem, 3 successes. Breck made it, hey, and I was just waiting for that 1 success from Pingsley to just throw a wrench into the whole fucking thing and have him break his leg
Yeah,
again
me
or something.
too. And he just jumped up there, and he
Yeah.
also found mushrooms and
Right.
got the
That
rat
too,
to go
yeah.
away.
All right, so how about we give MVP to Pingsley? He gets a persona for that. Now we award a persona to the team worker, the players whose support kept everyone going, despite the costs or risks.
I would say that's Breck for attempting to go up before me into the upward slippery tunnels.
Yeah, he kind of risked
He
his hide to
kinda
go up there
built
first
us
to
our way
make
up
sure
there,
everybody got up. See that?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And if the table wants to award a persona for embodiment to characters who are role-played well, or invoke their belief, goals, instincts, or alignment with drama and entertainment value, you may do so. This reward's not always given out. And everybody shouldn't get an embodiment persona, but I don't know. I think the mouse mask moment with Pingsley driving off the rats was kind of cool, even though there's nothing really he did
Yeah.
on purpose. But that
I
was
agree.
interesting.
Yeah, you're good at that role playing.
All right, so I'll take the embodiment. Woo!
I got a quick question though. Under the fate and persona, I'm getting a little confused under current and spent. Like, when I just gained one, does that need to? I mean,
Don't
Like
ever
I got-
change your
Goes into
spent
your
ones.
current.
Your spent
Don't
ones
ever
just
change-
build up forever.
Yes.
oh, just
Mm-hmm.
whenever
Spent
you
ones are
spend
how
it,
you
it goes
level
up.
up. Yes.
Try it.
Okay,
All right, cool.
Okay.
we're
That
good.
sounds good. Yeah, and if your character died, his fate and persona for the session are given to his new character. Acts 3 of each.
Yep. All right.
Consolation.
Very good game,
Well
guys.
done.
I cannot wait to see what happens next time. This is
Oh,
going to be
boy.
very cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
glad we got to do it today, at least for a while.
I am too.
Sure. Yeah, me as well.
Okay. See you later.
All right,
Until
guys.
next time, have a nice
Yep.
evening.
guys.
Have a
Great
good
game.
evening, guys.
Take it
Yeah,
easy.
that was fun.
A lot of fun. See ya.
Yeah, enjoy your D&D game.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye, Sean. Bye,
Good night,
Angie.
Lee. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Yeah, I don't know if I got out.